If you live here, fun is your thing. If you live here, tough is your thing. Smart is your thing. Caring is your thing. If you live in Massachusetts, community is your thing. Since 1972, the Massachusetts State Lottery has provided over $25 billion to help cities and towns with the things they need most. If you live here, giving is your thing.
My family earns respect.
My family clears bases.
My family breaks records.
My family wins MVPs.
My family gives everything.
My family makes history. My family wins championships.
There's no family.
There's no family.
There's no family.
There's no family like my family.
Join the fam.
Join the fam.
Join the fam.
When Alaska Airlines needed a partner for the complex operations of travel, they made the switch to T-Mobile. Our 5G has Alaska Airlines and their customers covered, from major hubs to remote destinations, with 5G coverage ready now for the demands of today and the future. T-Mobile's network powers Alaska Airlines as they deliver next-level care for all customers. 5G ready now. That's how unconventional thinking is better for business.
Coke Zero is now Coke Zero Sugar, with great Coke taste. Some people were excited to hear the news, some were skeptical. So we're not gonna have the star of the show you're watching come out and say, "You'll love it." No special jingle written by this week's hottest pop star. No famous internet celebs who happen to be holding the label just so. Okay, maybe just one little pour shot. The only thing that will make you believe Coke Zero Sugar has great Coke taste is trying it yourself. Ice cold Coke Zero Sugar. Try one today.
The Hawks have taken 3 of 4 games and now have a big test against the class of the East on a hot summer day in Middle Cape. It's the Hyannis Harbor Hawks and the YD Red Sox. And with that, we welcome you inside the Tim Elstrom Broadcast Center. Mickey Doolittle alongside Jacob Irons and Michael Kirsting. And guys, the Harbor Hawks took 3 in a row, but last night they had a bit of a setback.
Had a little bit of a setback, but you have to look at the positive. That 9th inning was really positive because they showed fight. They showed grit. And they showed a team that's not willing to go down without a fight, even into the 9th inning when they felt like everything was stacked against them in that big lead that Katua had carrying into that bottom of the 9th. They continued to fight for it, thinking that no matter what, they had a chance until the last out. So that's a team that's hungry. And although they didn't win last night, that shows that this team has offensive power that is ready, that is there, and that they could use it tonight against YD.
Yeah, all good things must come to an end at a certain point. We talked last night on the broadcast about how impressive a 4-game win streak would be. They don't quite reach it, but now they have a chance to rebound. Katuitt, really powerful team, but right here on the other end, so are the YD Red Sox. So it's going to be a tough night here, but this is a team that has been resilient all season long. I trust them to come back in their pinstripes and get a little bit of a rebound here tonight at McKeon Park.
Yeah, the orange jersey magic might be over, but they put back on the pinstripes looking for a new result after last night. And in the first meeting between these two teams, Hyannis nearly made another comeback.
Yeah, the Cardiac Hawks almost struck again when these two teams faced. They had bases loaded. You had maybe the strongest hitter you could have had up in Cam Smith. Hard fly ball into the fog, just a couple feet from the track there. And ultimately, their hopes were dashed in that one. But once again, showed resiliency down the stretch. It's about tacking early. If they can get those, Johnny Davis will talk about it a little bit with you, Michael, in that dugout show. Got to win the first third. Got to win the second third. And got to win that final third of the game. If you can win those 3 wars tonight, that's going to be key. Got to win it at each section of the game.
Yeah, taking a look at that first third today, you took the words right out of my mouth about attacking in those first 3 innings, where you see the bullpen and the pitching a little bit more susceptible as opposed to the second half of the game. Backing up the pitching has been something during this 3-game win streak that we hadn't seen too much of. And when that pitching gave up a few runs early on, the offense came right back, struck back within distance, if not taking the lead. And that led to a really good last few games. Last night, they struck first again in the bottom of the first, but Katuitt just overpowered last night. So I look for tonight and into the next few games for the first 3 innings, the first quadrant, or the first third, rather, of this game to be attacked early, to back up that pitching, and if they can do so, they're going to have a good shot in every game.
Yeah, and a really fun matchup here tonight is going to be the top end of these lineups. Hunter Hines, you can't say enough good things about him. 9 home runs on the season, going up against the top of Hyannis' lineup and Cam Smith.
When you look at the power, circle this game because it is going to be electric. You're going to see loud at-bats. Whether they're outs or whether they're hits, I don't know yet, but you're going to be hearing a crack of the bat behind us tonight, and they're going to be loud, and they're going to be fun to watch because these are the 2 hardest hitters right now on the Cape, and they are squaring off tonight for their teams in a big situation for both. For YD, they just want to keep staying in front of Harwich. For Hyannis, they got to try and keep catching up with Bourne and playing for that 2 spot right now. So both teams motivated, and they're going to hit the ball hard.
Yeah, just think about the fact that we're through 25, 26 games, and Hunter Hines with a wood bat has 9 home runs right now. That's pacing the league. That's on pace to set a new single-season record. And Cam Smith on the other end, too, is close to the top in slugging, in OPS. This is a fun one, guys. Whatever there is in store for us, pitching might have a tough time tonight against guys who have such good bats in Hines and Smith. The fireworks sure are going to be alive here and kicking at McKeon Park tonight.
Yeah, and tonight we also have a great pitching matchup on the bump.
Yeah, when you look at Darren Horn for Hyannis, he comes in really great off-speed stuff and breaking stuff. Looked for him to be his main quadrant tonight, but he's a guy that has loved the Cape so far. He has joined in and started to open up. He's starting to feel comfortable here on Cape Cod, which could only prove to be good for his baseball. And on the other hand, Bucknam is really strong for YD right now. Another guy that comes in and looking to be dominant against this hard-hitting lineup.
Yeah, keeping on the Hyannis side with Darren Horn, it's going to be the first time we've seen him start in his young time here at Hyannis, and I'm going to be looking for, as we've said, to be keeping it within that first 3. We've talked about stringing together the first third, the second third, and the last third. If Horn can keep this potent offense at bay of the YD Red Sox and allow for his team to work into that second half of the game where they're stronger, that's going to bode pretty well for the Hawks tonight.
Yeah, and our own Bria Losick is standing by with Dan Johnson, the president of the Hyannis Harbor Hawks.
From McKeon Park, I'm Bria Losick alongside the president of the Harbor Hawks, Dan Johnson.
I won't let that go to my head the way you refer to me as president. I'm just like you said, I'm a humble man, a man of the people.
Well, you're kind of a big deal around here. You oversee all operations of McKeon Park and the Harbor Hawks in general. What do you think of the team at that more than halfway point of the season?
Lots of potential. I'm sure if you've talked to Nick, you'll understand that we've had an enormous amount of turnover this year. I think 23 of our original 30 contracts have left for one reason or another, but Nick is the kind of guy, he'll look at the glass as half full. When you have that kind of exodus, it's better to have it earlier in the year, so when you're looking to fill those holes, there's still options out there. So the 30 guys we have on the roster now, we're hoping are going to be here until the playoffs, and then you've been here. It's who's got the best team at the end of the season, not at the middle of the season, so we're hopeful.
And along with the team, you control everything around the ballpark as well, along with all the interns. How do you think Children's Night went last night and all the other different events that have been going on at the park?
Children's Night last night was good. It wasn't great, but it was the first time we've done it. But what we like to do, and this is the brand that we're trying to build in Hyannis, is the more people we can get down here, we can create the next generation of Hyannis Harbor Hawks fans. So we started out last night, small steps, and I think every home game we have is a small step into, creating a brand where everybody in our community will want to come down here and share the beauty of the Cape League with us.
You're not only the president, overseeing everyone. I mean, I'm really talking you up here, Dan, but
I know, I'm going to let everybody down.
You're also a host parent to a couple of the guys, but one in particular, Cam Smith, who has not only been going off on the field lately, but I understand that you have a daily ice cream date with him every day. Is that true?
So it's not daily because he's put me on 2-a-week regimen. So I could go every day, but he says, no, I can only have 2. And it's good. It's just time with me and Cam, and we're not talking about baseball, and we're just talking about life and the simple things. And that kid gets up every single morning, and he will have the same look on his face if he hit a home run and he had 3 ribbies versus if he went 0 for 4. His perception of what baseball is, just a game, is beautiful to watch. And that's why watching him come back from his very slow start with perseverance and just shrug it off like it's a game. It will come to me, it always has. It's amazing to watch. He is such a great addition to my house. I will miss that kid dearly when he goes back to college.
Well, you still have a lot more ice cream in the future with him.
I'm doing the math. We got 8. We got 8 more.
8 more.
Yeah.
Okay. So what flavor do you guys both get?
See, he gets coconut vanilla soft serve in a cup, small. He always gets a small. Me, I'm a wild card. I don't know, whatever I'm feeling. I could get a cone, I could get a small hot fudge sundae, but I'm getting my ice cream.
Have you gotten the chance to get to know his family that's come up too?
So his grandparents are here now. Briefly, I've got to meet him, but they are as grounded as Cam is, so I can see where he gets his outlook on baseball. And his grandfather came up with him when he first arrived, and I got to meet him. But the whole Smith contingent will be here for a week, starting on the 22nd of July. They'll be here for a week. I can't wait to see them all.
As a host dad, do you almost feel like they're your children as well?
I wouldn't say that, because there's a lot of the times they look at me like, are you ever going to grow up, Dan? So they might consider me their child. But we definitely incorporate them into the family. We'll make them feel as welcome as my 2 daughters at home. And that's one of the huge blessings, is because my daughters get to make, I mean, you know Jordan, she just eats this up. She loves it. I mean, every year it's 2 more ball players, and these are people, for the most part, that we stay in touch with forever. I mean, we've gone to weddings, we get invitations to everything. So just to know that every year we make a new connection makes it all worthwhile.
And Jordan's also all around the park as well as one of the team photographers.
Yes.
What's it like having your daughter also work for the team?
I love it. It's because it's her last summer here on the Cape. She'll be going to UVM in the fall, and just to know it's something her and I share. And who knows, she might want to do it next year when she comes back from UVM. But I got a call 3 days ago from Teddy Pappas, who's been taking pictures from the Cape League forever, just for the sole purpose of telling me how polished she has become in her craft. Like, I don't know anything about photography. I would know good picture from bad picture. But for Teddy Pappas and his pedigree to say she has come into her own, she's an amazing photographer. And she loves doing it. And she loves being part of this whole thing down here. She loves being part of the Hyannis Harborhawks organization. I'm very proud of her.
Everyone around here, from players to interns, are all striving to get better at whatever they're doing around here at the Harborhawks. What do you think that this organization can do for all of them?
What we can supply the players? Just an atmosphere where they can prosper with no pressure. I mean, to me, this is summer baseball. They're here to have fun. And the moment you start putting pressure or expectations on them, other than being good human beings and giving us their best, I think it puts too much pressure on the guys, and nobody will prosper in there. So hopefully, you know, as a community of the Hyannis Athletic Association, we give them something that they'll go back to the universities with, and maybe say, you know what, if they have a friend, maybe you want to look into Hyannis. That's a great culture there. So that's what we try to supply them, just a really good atmosphere to thrive.
All right, thank you so much, Dan. This has been awesome.
Thanks, Bria.
Back to you guys in the booth.
Thank you so much, Bria, and a great interview there that really highlights the importance of these host families out here on the Cape.
Yeah, I don't know about Cam, though. Coconut vanilla, come on, man. Like, you got to go a little more decadent for that if you're getting ice cream twice a week. I'm just saying there. Come on. Grant McNew, our producer, gets chocolate and gummy bears every day. That's a decadent call. I'm saying peanut butter cup. But if you're getting every day.
Cookies and cream, okay?
Cookies and cream is okay.
How about marshmallow s'more?
Oh, I forgot you're a big Kilman's guy.
Huge Kilman's guy.
But that just goes to show you how much these are long-standing relationships. That's host family. And what Dan talks about in those situations is that it's away from baseball. It's that time that they get to spend together and get to know each other. Because once again, he's living in his house, but sometimes, especially with how baseball players work, you're working on a different schedule. You're working a night shift rather than the regular day-to-day, so that him and Dan have that time to talk and really get to build and form that connection. What makes host families so important to Cape Cod.
Yeah, I mean, the Cape Cod League doesn't even happen without these host families. I mean, for us, for the players, for everybody involved here, we couldn't thank these host families enough. And it's so nice to see the relationship that players form with the families, as shown with Cam and Dan there. And it just goes to show how important it all is. And at the end of the day, I mean, there is just so much to be said that can't be summed up in enough words about how important and amazing the host families are to this league.
They really are the battery power of this league. But we have a game on hand today between YD and Hyannis. It's going to be a great offensive matchup. We say almost every night that it's going to be a pitching matchup. Tonight, you almost feel these are great pitchers, but these lineups are even better.
I think these lineups are going to show out. I think the winning run will be 7 tonight. I think whoever wins tonight will have 7 runs in their pocket handedly. Whether they go over that, good for them, but they got to get to the run to 7. I think that's going to be it. We saw it last time. 7 runs is going to be the key tonight. Whoever gets to 7 runs first is going to win this ball game. I can almost stamp on it.
I love the lineup change here tonight for Hyannis that we're going to detail. I'll give you a bit of a sneak peek that Cam Smith is sitting in the leadoff right now. I think it bodes really nice things for this lineup. I like the construction here tonight against a pretty potent team in YD themselves. I think Hyannis will be fortunate to be missing a few guys in that YD lineup. Again, we'll talk about that in just a little bit, but looking at both of these lineups with a bit of a different look to them from the last time, it's really interesting to see that about how the dynamic of this game will go with those different lineups.
There's only 3 spots where Cam Smith hasn't hit this year, and that's cleanup 7 and 9. And this guy has been up and down the lineup, and he's had a lot of success everywhere. What does his versatility mean to this team?
I think it means everything. To have a hitter that you can be able to move and know confidently for a guy that is in the top 10 of batting average that he will get on base. I'm a confident guy when it comes to whether or not Cam Smith will get on base. He will get on base, so having him and having that versatility to be like, okay, where do I want to get him on and get a hit in trying to play that math? For Hyannis tonight, they want to elect to get him on early so that they can play a little small ball. That's going to be another thing that I think that shows with getting Cam Smith in the leadoff spot. They're going to want to play small ball tonight, especially with the lineup behind him.
And not much more I can say to follow that. Exactly what I would have said is that his versatility speaks volumes because you can put him in that 3 to score some runs, but now you can put him in that leadoff to get on. I really couldn't have said it much better myself.
Thanks, Michael. I appreciate it for a guy that maybe didn't play as enough baseball as I should. That I foresaw something there. That's good. That's good.
You nailed it.
And we talk about versatility in the lineup, but versatility in the field is also really important, and that's kind of what Will Taylor has given. He's starting in right field tonight, giving a little bit of flexibility to this offense. He's a guy that's been really good for Hyannis as well.
Really good, and talking to Will Taylor, you got to love him because he's a great guy, and he's a team atmosphere guy. What does the team need me to do tonight? What do they have to use me to do so that they can win? That is huge. I am impressed that he is able to make that move over to right. We saw it for a half inning when Earhart came in to pitch yesterday, but once again, having that commitment that he's able to go over to right, vacate center field, and use his depth and speed over in right proves to be really beneficial.
Yeah, we've seen him in all 3 spots in the outfield now, and it's not very easy to do that because you sit in center, which is his natural position, and that's what really helps him, is that he can range to either side. Center fielders have to do that, be able to cover a lot of ground. And now you move him over to left. He's got to run to that backhand side, makes it a little tougher, but now sitting in right, he's to his glove side. He'll be able to make plays easier. And playing that center field allows for a lot of versatility defensively, and I have been so impressed with Will Taylor in center field. We've seen him in left field just as impressive. Let's see what he does tonight in right.
Yeah, and this is a Hyannis team that started the season lower in the league in fielding percentage, but since then has shot up the leaderboards. They've done really well to really correct themselves after it was a struggling start.
They have it, and I think the biggest key here is they got comfortable with each other. That is the biggest thing when you look at that percentage is you want to get comfortable with each other. You have to figure out how everyone is playing the bases that you normally, because you're playing 60 games with a guy in spring ball, and then you come here and you're your first baseman, second baseman, third baseman are all new if you're in the shortstop position. Your entire infield that you've worked with is no longer the same guys you've been working with for all 60 games. So you got to get comfy. You got to find out how everything's working. And now that's slowly creeping up because everyone's getting comfortable with each other.
Yeah, and there have been guys who have come in later in the season, too, that once the rest of the infielders have kind of understood each other, now there's another guy to come into the mix. Not to say that that's anything bad. It's just that's naturally how chemistry works. So it's going to take them a few games to come into their role, understand what their playing style and the rest of their infielders' playing style is. And now there has been a little bit of continuity. And with that continuity comes a little bit more sureness. And now Hyannis looking really solid on defense.
And looking at the pitching that's going to have to deal with this YD lineup, what do they have to do to contain Hunter Hines?
Hammer the zone. I think that's going to be your big key tonight is just pitch him strikes. I know that's a very dangerous thing to say, especially with how well he's hitting the ball. But I think you can try and pitch him away. You can try and strike him out, but I think he's a guy that will go reaching for and will make a base hit. If you can get him to ground out, I think that's going to be key. If you can pitch him down low or pop him up, that is going to be key.
Yeah, it's pounding the zone, but pounding the correct parts of the zone is what you're saying. So obviously he's going to be taking a fastball all the way down to Katuit if he can get a hold of it. But it's choosing the right pitches, knowing when to mix in the off speed as opposed to when to pound the zone on the outer half with the fastball is going to be key to containing him. Those unfair at-bats that we mention every few games, if you can work him in, save those special for Hunter Hines. Make sure that that pitch and that sequence is unhittable. To be able to contain him is to be able to contain this entire lineup.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting. And you, Michael Kirsting, caught up with one of Hyannis' coaches, Johnny Davis.
When you are. Okay. Hey, everybody. Welcome down to the third base side here at McKeon Park for today's Dugout Show, joined alongside Coach Johnny Davis. Johnny, the guys took a loss last night to Katuit, 16-9. A bit of a rough one, but how would you say that allows for the winning streak now done? How would you say it allows for the guys to move on?
I mean, I think this whole year, one thing we've really been trying to do is, break away from the pack. And so you've seen it a lot. Is like we win 2, lose 2, win 2, lose 2. And as we get towards the end of the season, it's like, how can we start to take this momentum and actually, transition into something meaningful? So, we just won 3 and we dropped 1, but hopefully, we win tonight, grab a win tomorrow night out in Brewster. We can really start to, keep that forward momentum going.
Yeah, they've just come off. The loss ends a 3-game losing streak, but there was a lot of positives from that 3-game winning streak, including and all the way into last night where there were 6 runs put on in the 9th. So despite a bit of a bigger loss, how do you guys take away positives from last night?
I mean, one thing where we try to do a lot is, stay away from those big innings. So we had that 4-run inning, I think it was in the 6th, and even though we scored, 6 or 7 runs in the bottom of the 9th, it's like, how do we consistently win innings? So that's kind of what we preach to the coaching staff, is that if we can win the first 3, that's a big thing. Getting out to the early lead. We scored first last night. They kind of came back. And our thing is that we can win the first 3 and transition that into, okay, then we win the first 5 and kind of go from there. That's where we're at as a staff, and we're trying to stay away from the big inning on defense.
Yeah, definitely. So here tonight against YD, and then to Brewster, and then another few home games. How do you guys plan over these next few games to be winning those innings and eventually those games?
It's been tough with guys coming and going, and with the draft and guys taking their college visits, and I think that we are going to need some depth from some guys who we necessarily haven't relied on a ton so far. So it should be a good test for them. I mean, this is why they're here. They're here to be tested at the highest level possible of college athletics. Summer collegiate athletics. So I would be excited if I was a lot of these kids. You may have only seen limited innings, but now moving forward, we may need you to step up in a role that you're not used to even at school. So it's an exciting time for those guys.
Exciting time here in Hyannis as well as we move forward onto tonight's game.
Retirement strategies come in all shapes and sizes. One strategy does not fit all when it comes to reaching your retirement goals. And considering all your options may be, well, more than you want to think about. So whether you're looking to retire or already living in retirement, you need a strategy tailor-made for you.
Fairway Financial can create a personal retirement strategy just for you, designed to take care of you and your loved ones. Call us today at 508-398-3337.
Your future begins at Dean College.
Make a difference.
Leave your mark.
Break the mold.
Be a leader.
Achieve unimagined heights.
Believe in yourself. Make lifelong friends.
This is your time.
Your place.
Your home. Your Dean.
It all starts here at Dean College.
Welcome back to McKeon Park. It's Hyannis and YD, and it's going to be a great one here today as YD currently paces the East right now in the standings. And with that, we just heard a beautiful rendition of our national anthem, and the host families came out onto the field. We're lining up that third base line before the game, and we await the teams to come out.
Yeah, we're waiting the teams to come out here, but great day for baseball here. Beautiful conditions as they get ready and have their final conversations before they enter the field and get ready for the field of play.
Yeah, it should be a good one. As we talked about, there's a lot of firepower on both sides of the lineup card here today. And now with Hyannis out of their winning streak, back in their pinstripes, it's been a nice switch up, and here they come out onto the field looking to calm down a YD team where they just about reached last time. They couldn't quite come back against them, so it should be a good one here today.
And on the mound trying to silence this potent YD attack is Darren Horn.
Darren Horn comes out from Bluffton, South Carolina. Also a host family member of Dan Johnson. He's also with Cam and the entire Johnson clan. And he gets to start tonight on Host Family Appreciation Night. Only fitting, and you can look at his numbers as a 3 ERA through 4 games with 1 save. Indeed, this is his first start. Excited for him. Look for him to go 3 innings or so. Only has gone 2 for Hyannis so far. The last outing was again at YD where he went 2 innings. Didn't give up a run, only 2 hits. They were fooled by him those 2 innings. So excited for him to come back out here tonight and try and go a little bit longer and take on more of a start.
And we talked about everybody out here on the Cape feeling like a swingman. They could go both ways. They can come out of the bullpen, and they can give you length out of the bullpen. That's what they're looking for out of Horn tonight.
And Johnny Davis even said that in that dugout conversation with Michael about how guys are going to need to take on a new role when they come to summer ball rather than what they've done.
Yeah, and it's interesting that you see in his last appearance against Bourne, he got a save. And meanwhile, you see him as a bit of a middle reliever guy, but today he's now on the field, too, as the starter.
And YD is going to send out, like we mentioned, a potent lineup, and it goes like this.
Yeah, so it'll be Brady Day to start things off at second base. The dangerous Hunter Hines, as we mentioned, will be the designated hitter. He hits second today, so nice and early to get him up in the lineup. The shortstop, Max Vieira, hits third, and Xander Darby, the third baseman, will hit fourth. New man Jacob Jenkins Coward out in left field bats fifth, as well as Paxton Kling following right behind him, hitting sixth. And then to round out the bottom third of the order will be the first baseman, Dub Gleed, the right fielder, Casey Cook, who we saw make a multitude of amazing plays out in right field last time at Red Wilson Field, and the catcher, Connor Dykstra, rounding out the YD order.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how Horn reacts to this one. Like we mentioned, if you can get a couple of innings out of Horn and navigate through this lineup once or twice, it's going to be so important for Hyannis to win this game and give that offense an opportunity. So it'll be Brady Day leading it off for YD. Beautiful day for baseball here in Hyannis, and the first pitch misses just outside at 6:04.
Yeah, mentioning the name Connor Dykstra, the catcher, down at the bottom of that order, they will no longer see Will King.
That one's tapped on the ground to Snow, up with it, and retires Day for the first out of the ballgame.
That's what you want out of Horn here in this spot, is be aggressive. That's what Horn is. Gets ahead, and now already only after a couple of pitches, already has his first out. That's huge.
And this is how you want to be facing one of the best hitters in the league as the Hyannis defense goes like this. Lipsy, Earhart, Taylor in the outfield left to right. Smith, Gazdar, Snow, Kelly on the infield from left to right. And Aaron Parker putting down the signs for Hyannis today as the 1-0 is swung on and missed by Hines, and it's 1-1. Horn working quickly in a check swing. He did go around, so he is ahead in the count against the dangerous Hunter Hines, who, like we mentioned in the pregame, is on pace to tie or break the league home run record, but he goes down swinging here for the second out of the first.
There's your dangerous, and there's your unhittable at bat right there. I want to talk about unfair. Came right at him with the fastball and then back-to-back off-speed pitches. Hines way out in front on both of them. That's how you attack a really good hitter.
And finish this off, you got Parker as the battery mate, and then York over in the DH role again right now for Hyannis.
First pitch, a called strike to Max Vieira, the three-hole hitter, shortstop for YD, and quickly up with it is Horn, and he's going to tap that one to the left side of the infield, but John can't handle it, so the first base runner this ball game goes to YD.
Yeah, Gazdar played it off the hop, was good, let it come to him, but then at the last second, just it hopped out of his glove and couldn't corral it there, and it will be a hit for Max Vieira to get on.
So here comes Xander Darby, the cleanup hitter. And he's going to tap that one down the right field line foul. Horn has been working awfully quickly right now, barely giving us a chance to catch our breath here.
Hey, he's got the pitch clock. Might as well, if he's got it in his favor,
Even
might
with
as
the
well
pitch
use
clock,
it.
though, it seems like he's really just getting on it quick.
I don't know if anyone can get on it as quick as Zach Earhart did yesterday. Let's just set the record straight. Last night, that man was on something. He was on the pitch clock, and I don't know because they don't have the clock here at McKeon Park, so maybe he was just being very cognizant of it, but he was pitching like it was high school, man. He was out and going.
Yeah, I talked to him earlier before the game started, and he said it was pure adrenaline. He said he hadn't been out there in a long time. He threw in high school. He was touching 90 last night, and he was working really quickly, all because he was so excited and pumped up to be out there.
0-2 to Xander Darby, but before that, a throw over to check on Vieira at first. Always want to be cognizant of those runners on base. YD likes to run.
Yeah, right now I have 40 stolen bases on the year.
0-2, just misses with a breaking ball.
Horn thought that was his pitch. He had come up with a little bit of a kick and step off the bump there, thinking that he had found his spot perfectly.
There it is again, just off that outer third of the plate. So now it's 1-2. Here's the pitch for Horn, and that one's ripped out into right field. Over is Taylor, but he's not going to get there. He'll play it on a hop and get it in, but on the play, Vieira will move up an extra bag and go to third.
Good piece of hitting from Darby that just drops it in front of Taylor. With two away, this gets a little more tricky here as you don't want to allow Jenkins Cohort to come in and have an opportunity to bring in a run to start things off for the Red Sox.
So here's Jacob Jenkins Cohort. And the first pitch to him is taken for a strike.
But that's what's good about facing Jenkins Cohort here with 2 outs is that you only have to worry about him. You could even pitch to contact a little bit. A ground ball to the middle infield allows you just to step on second.
Yeah, here with 2 outs, infield can play relaxed at their normal depth. Not worry about trying to turn a double play as the 0-1 misses outside.
Just got to get that one out here for Hyannis. We want to try and limit the amount of runs that come across.
Yeah, for how fast he moved through those first 2 hitters. A couple of knocks have extended the inning for YD as the count moves to 1-2.
And you could see here with Horn, he's just gone a little bit slower now. He knows that he's delivering the pitches he likes, but he has to focus on these pitches because this is a big at-bat early in the game to try and keep YD scoreless. So he slowed it down a little bit. To his credit, he has delivered so far in this at-bat.
1-2 pitch, runner goes, tap foul. Darby was in motion there. Parker was ready to come up firing. Perhaps YD trying to steal a run.
Trying to get anything they can. Maybe working a little small ball here and trying to see if they will get Parker to throw down and allow Vieira to come in as they try and attempt the throw.
Here's the pitch, and that one's tapped in front of home plate. Parker has to hurry to first, but he makes the play very nicely, and Horn has escaped the jam in the first. No score, headed to the bottom of the first on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
A brilliant idea starts at the source. Through innovative design, we're taking steps to create a better future. Now, the pure fresh taste of Dasani comes in a redesigned bottle, up to 30% made from plants, and as always, it's 100% recyclable. Plant bottle, designed to make a difference.
This BBB seal is a badge of honor. It's a sign that this is a business you can trust. Each year, millions of people see the BBB seal on a door or a window or a website and breathe a little easier. See the seal and know you've made the right choice. Find a business you can trust. Ask BBB.
Back with you here at McKeon Park in Hyannis, who will look to deploy a lineup that goes like this.
Yeah, Cam Smith back in the leadoff spot, playing third base. Talked about that a little bit in the pregame. We'll go into detail a bit about that later. John Gazdar up to the number 2 spot at shortstop. Zach York does the designated hitting today, and he's in the 3. Sliding down is Austin Kelly. The first baseman will clean up today, maybe a bit of a lineup reset after the first 3. Then followed by Zach Earhart, Will Taylor, and Trey Lipsy, center, right, and left field respectively. And then Aaron Parker, the catcher, and Eric Snow, the second baseman, round out the Harbor Hawks order.
So that will be the lineup that will face Micah Bucknam.
Bucknam, yeah, only has 1 appearance so far on the Cape Cod Baseball League season. It came at home at Red Wilson Field against Wareham, where he pitched 1 inning, only gave up a hit, walked 1, struck out 1 through 5 batters faced in that situation. So had a 2 whip in that outing, but he's got to go up against a potent Cam Smith, who in that leadoff spot can launch nukes.
We know his history. He homered out of that leadoff spot on back-to-back nights just a couple of weeks ago. And the first pitch to him is lined out to right field. Over is Cook. This won't leave the yard, and he will make the play for the first out. And for a second, you thought Smith may have had another one.
Yeah, why not have a swing at that?
Not quite.
This will be the field for the Red Sox. Jenkins, Cowart, Kling, and Cook in the outfield. Darby, Vieira, Day, and Gleed in the infield, and then Hines in that designated hitting role.
And that'll bring up John Gazdar, the shortstop. And he'll watch one low on the first pitch of the at-bat. John's come in and been pretty good for Hyannis so far. You see that batting average, but he's come through in some really clutch situations. That one's popped up, right side. Gleed fading over, and he'll put away John. So 2 quick outs here for Bucknam in the first, and that is kind of shades of how Horn worked through the first 2 hitters of his inning, and now he's got to face Zach York, who has smashed the ball to begin his time here with Hyannis.
Yeah, Smith and Gazdar are high average guys themselves. They get themselves on base in whatever ways possible. And because of how well York has started here in Hyannis, that's why they've moved him into the 3. they've got guys in front of him who really get on, and to maximize their profits at any point in the game, they make sure to have York in to get as many guys in as possible.
York tried to check his swing, and the appeal down to to third, no swing.
They have Kelly in that cleanup role, not York, because it'll maybe get him an at-bat or more, because that top third of the order is known for getting more at-bats, and the way York is swinging it right now, he's got to have as many at-bats as possible.
Pitch misses inside.
Yeah, take a look at this field here. You're going to have Vieira shift all the way over, and they are playing the shift. You're going to have Day kick off to play a little bit of that shortstop, but Vieira, the shortstop, playing over past the bag on that second base side in that situation.
1-2. That one's inside out, jammed out to left field. Jenkins Cowart under it and makes the play, so a quick 1-2-3 inning for Bucknam. And that will send us to the second. Still no score.
Hey, Mama, what's up?
Did you switch my service from Verizon to T-Mobile? Yep.
T-Mobile has the only nationwide 5G.
Well, Mr. Know-It-All, let's see if you right about that.
Mama. Hey, Mama, I'm working.
It works at the pie shop.
T-Mobile's 5G works inside and out. Hey, what you need, Mama? I'm trying to watch the game with my boys.
It works in the park.
Oh, okay. Mama?
It works at the aquarium, in the parking garage, at the beach, in the elevators. It works in the movie theater, too. Oh, shush yourself. I'm talking to my baby.
You're driving me crazy.
I was just calling you to say thank you, baby. I love you.
I love you too, Mama. Yes, Mama.
It works in the kitchen.
Hell, Mama.
Mama?
5G, it works in the club.
Who are you in a club with?
All about it. Hell, Mama.
The lights at McKeon Park stay bright all season long thanks to the Knack Cape Cod. The Knack offers 2 locations, Hyannis and Orleans, both offering delicious burgers, tacos, sandwiches, and more. Visit theknackcapecod.com to order online today. The Knack Cape Cod is proud to be the Light Up the Park sponsor for the Harbor Hawks all season long. That man is enjoying some food down there, probably not from the Knack, but
the TNT concession stand.
Yeah, guys, I got my first shake from the Knack Cape Cod
There you go.
2 days ago.
Whoa.
Oh, my gosh, I'm going back for more. That's for sure. Their chocolate shake was to die for.
Now, that's a decadent ice cream flavor.
Is chocolate?
Is chocolate. But then also that shake, very decadent as well.
Wait, define decadent.
Like rich?
Oh, okay.
Like
okay.
rich, right?
Okay. No, I didn't know. I didn't know.
Paxton Kling will stand in and watch ball 1. Decadent.
They've got a mocha shake there, too. That's one that I want to try next. That seems like a rich flavor.
Yeah, not a mocha guy.
Nah.
1-1 the count.
Not a coffee guy. I drink strictly lemonade.
Well, mocha is that? I guess it's just the flavor, but it's not quite. It's just the flavoring of it, I think. Oh, yeah. Starbucks has a great mocha. Yes, producer Grant McNew.
For those of you viewers who do not know, Jacob Irons has a lemonade addiction.
It is not great. It's not great. But if we think about it, it's only water, sugar, and lemon. It's not that bad.
3-1 to Kling here. I don't know. Maybe try and mix something else in.
No,
every
I don't.
now and then.
So I'm not a big carbonation guy, so that rules out soda. I don't like stuff that's too sweet. So
taken to run the count full.
Lemonade is the perfect drink for me. That is a little bit of sour, a little sweet. It's perfect.
3-2 the count to Kling. Here's the pitch, and that one's softly hit to the left side. Nice jumping play by Smith. He throws across the infield, not quite in time to get the speedy Kling, who is running hard out of the box.
This infield is playing really bouncy so far. We saw that with John, where he allowed one to go off his glove off a high bounce, and now we've seen it here from Smith as well. So both plays have benefited YD so far, and now it's time for Hyannis to get theirs on the other half. But now a leadoff single for Kling.
Yeah, 2 separate infield singles for YD here, as they already have 3 hits in this game. That one's grounded to short. Gazdar up with it, but on the play, the runner was going, so Kling will avoid the double play, and Gleed is retired for the first out.
And that is a perfectly executed hit and run for YD, because then on that hit and run you eliminate being able to turn a double play. But if you're Hyannis, you get an out here. That's huge that you're able to get one, and now you just got to focus on the batter here to try and get the next two.
And that batter is Casey Cook. Here's the pitch. Just low.
Yeah, the reason they do those hit and runs is to get out of those exact situations. That's a tailor-made double play ball right there. And if there's no steal, easy 2 outs and easy no guys on base for Cook here. But instead, because of that steal, now they've got a runner in scoring position and only 1 out.
1-0 is taken for a strike. Horn, once again, a guy that has a 3 even ERA right now in 6 innings pitched this year. 9 strikeouts, so a big strikeout arm as that one's tapped off to the right side. This may advance the runner again. Snow retires him, but again on the play, Kling will move up another 90 feet.
Now precarious stepping, but with 2 outs here. So you can advance those runners all you want on weak ground balls. As we take a look at it here, it's a nice play from Hainline over at second, but you can advance them all you want. It's just as long as they don't score, and that's what Horn looks to work out of here.
Connor Dykstra stands in and knuckles that one down the first base line, and Kelly makes a nice 3-1 put out back to Horn, and once again Horn escapes danger here in the second. We head to the bottom half, still no score.
We all have obstacles, challenges at different points in life. I still push myself every single day, and the harder I push myself, the more I find myself drawn to wearing UFOs. The first time I put on a pair of UFOs, it was like someone released the pressure. It was so crazy. When you are recovered and can do more, that has a compounding effect on all aspects of your life. Stepping into a pair of UFOs, they're truly one of a kind. There's nothing like them.
Best ever? Good question. Wait, why do you sound like Dr. J in your head? I've always sounded like Dr. J in my head, which means Dr. J's outside voice sounds like my inside voice? Which Coke? The doc would know. He got the world to call him doctor without going to med school. There's only one best ever.
Back with you here from McKeon Park. Still no score going into the bottom of the second. And Harbor Hawks coach Eric Beatty has a lot of experience in this league, Michael.
Yeah, I mean, you take a look. We've said it last night, and I'll say it again. That 0.39 ERA is the second lowest in Cape League history, as you see. And it's with good reason, because now he's also put himself into the Cape Cod League Hall of Fame, and he's orchestrated a pitching staff that we keep talking about. It's so good because of how well Beatty fared in his years on the Cape as well. Also pitched at the University of Tampa. He's a high school coach back home in Florida, and it's just a credit to him putting together such a good staff that keeps his team in games.
Yeah, Eric Beatty, a guy that really rallies his troops. A lot of players love him and respect him, and a guy that has really been the catalyst for a lot of comebacks this year.
Yeah, and we were talking about the orange jerseys, how they've been retired at least for now. It was him who inspired that change. He tries to switch up the mojo a little bit, try and keep his players loose when it feels in the players' minds that there's nothing to be loose about. So players love that. That gets you behind your coach. And that makes you want to play for them, because he knows and the players know that that their manager is doing something for him. So let's go out there and do something for our manager.
Austin Kelly, first pitch swinging, and on the second pitch taps that one foul.
Austin Kelly's going to be the newest guest of the Early Bird Pod, with Josh Schreiber interviewing him before the game. And what a willing guy to come up and talk to us and have a great conversation, very insightful about his time in baseball, as well as his time around the game, as well as his time here on Cape Cod.
Yeah, such a good guy, too. And then as we see by his stats here, he's risen his average up a little bit, and he's come through in some good situations with some big RBIs as well.
Faces a 1-2 count here against Bucknam. And he swings and misses and goes down on strikes. So 4 up, 4 down to open the game here for Bucknell.
Bucknell is dealing right now, but we touched upon it on the other side for Hyannis. Bucknell hasn't started a game yet on Cape Cod, so these first 2 innings are about where you expect him to see. It's going to be the biggest time when you see this lineup again for the second time, how both starters are going to fare today.
So here's Zach Earhart, and he lines that one up the middle, and that is the first hit of the game for Hyannis. Nice piece of hitting there.
Great piece of hitting there. It's great contact, and that's a hitting coach's dream. His brother is smiling in the dugout right now. That's a hit at any level, depending on whatever it is. Directly back up the middle, and that is directly up the middle that it could almost hit our center field camera how middle it is.
So with that, Will Taylor will look to advance him or get another hit here. First base runner of the game for the Harbor Hawks. Here's the pitch, and that was swung on and missed. Taylor playing right field tonight. We don't see him playing right very often. Normally he's out in center because of his great range. And Earhart moves over to center. So another new look given here by Coach Eric Beatty and his staff. Never afraid to try and make adjustments.
Yeah, and putting Earhart in the 5 and Taylor in the 6th is another adjustment they've made. I really, like I said earlier, like the lineup construction here because now this puts contact guys on here in the bottom of the lineup.
0-1 to Taylor. Strike 2.
Nicking the outer part of the zone. Now if you wanted to play a little small ball here for Hyannis, it somewhat gets eliminated because of that 2 strikes. But why would you with Taylor and how hot of a bat he has been with runners on?
Before the 0-2, a check over to first. As that one skipped in, Gleed had a little bit of a tough time handling it, but no advancement from Earhart.
And Taylor also electing and making an announcement on social media today that he's focusing solely on baseball for his foreseeable future of his college career. After 2 years with Dabo Sweeney and the Clemson football program, he's all for Clemson baseball.
Hanging curveball right back at Bucknell, who recovers, throws to first just in time. Taylor almost beat that one out, and I don't think he agrees with that one, guys.
Yeah, with the hands on his hips and such a close play. Let's take another look. It took a real big knock off of Bucknell, and it took a good chunk out of him. And let's see here. Oh, he looks like he's safe there on that angle, so might have been missed. So Taylor sure has a case there. But regardless, he advances a runner, so 2 outs in scoring position for a guy with the hot hand in Trey Lipsy.
Joe Cruz, our first base umpire today, was behind home plate last night. And that will bring up Trey Lipsy with 2 outs and a runner at second, as he'll take the first pitch up and away. Lipsy, a guy that's been seeing the ball really, really well recently. Has that average up to 234. And last night was 1 for 1 with 4 plate appearances. He drew 3 walks. Heading the count 1-0 here. That one's popped foul.
And that's why he is so important to this lineup, is that when he doesn't hit, which he's been hitting a lot, but when he doesn't, you often find him on base because of the way he works the counts. You said he walked 3 times, and to be able to get a runner like him on with his good speed as well bodes really well for a lineup.
Another overshift put on here against Lipsy as he'll take upstairs. The second baseman, Day, is back into right field. Vieira, the shortstop, isn't quite on the other side of the second base bag. There you see in the middle of your screen. But still holding on Earhart from second. The 1-2 here to Lipsy as he will take just inside.
But look at this wide shot again. But now you leave a huge gap in right center field where, because Kling is playing a little over the second base bag to try and provide a little more coverage, that opens up a massive hole in right center field that's going to, if it can get down, that's the place you want to put it.
And Lipsy has drawn another walk, his 4th in 2 days.
He's seeing it and being disciplined. That's what you love from Trey Lipsy, is that he's getting on base for you. And we talk about the last time you can really circle a game for Trey Lipsy, says it was his coming out party, was the YD game at YD, and doing it again, getting on base early.
And that's not an easy curveball to lay off from Bucknam. He breaks out that curveball a lot against lefties. Mostly a fastball, curveball, changeup guy. We'll throw a slider against righties as Aaron Parker stands in and takes inside. Parker, the pitcher last night, came in, catching today. Not a two-way player, unfortunately.
He's made himself a two-way player now.
1-0 is popped up. Shallow center field. Vieira ranging back. Kling coming in, and he will put it away for the 3rd out. So the Harbor Hawks threaten here in the 2nd, but nothing to show for it, and we head to the 3rd.
Diet Coke? Who are you, my mom?
You should be so lucky, because you know what moms do? Well, I suppose we should start with the whole giving you life thing. It seems like that should be enough. No? Okay. What about her ability to send shockwaves through the neighborhood without saying a word? Or whip up a ridiculous handmade costume that you forgot to tell her about? Not to make you happy, but because she had a reputation to uphold. She invented rideshare, called it carpool, and did it for free. She didn't need those dating apps either. You copied her jeans, her spin, her shoes, her scrunchie, and whether you realize it or not, her music.
Why not?
Oh, and she can win any argument in 4 words.
Because I said so.
Everything you're trying to do, she's already done it, did it better, and she did it with a Diet Coke in her hand. So, drink what your mama gave you.
Back with you here, Hyannis and YD. Still no score going into the 3rd, but let's take a look around the Cape and see what's going on.
Yeah, these standings are really big right now as Hyannis, after losing last night, still stays within striking distance, who had a day off yesterday. So if they can win today and try and stay paced with Bourne, that would be huge for Hyannis as well. Up in that Western Division, Falmouth getting a game win over Wareham right now. And then on the other side, YD is starting to pace out right now and get a jump out in front of Harwich. If they could get a win tonight, YD, they would almost be the contender, and it wouldn't be Harwich anymore. It would be a one-dog race in the East.
Yeah, certainly a really interesting layout of this league right now. Wareham is 2-8 in their last 10. They have really fallen off since they got off to a hot start where they were kind of that middle class of the West. And meanwhile, Katuitt has gone on the tied for the 2nd longest winning streak this year on the Cape, with a 4-game winning streak after their win against Hyannis here at McKeon Park last night, as that pitch is taken by Day in there for strike 1. Horn back out for another inning. Has given up 3 hits so far, but 2 of them have been on the infield, and he's done a good job at navigating the traffic on the base paths.
And in both innings he's come out, he's had a runner standing 90 feet from home that has been able to work out of it without a run scored.
Tried to check his swing, but did not. One and one the count here. That one catches the outer third of the plate.
And this is that all-important 3rd inning that managers really want to see their pitchers getting into and through, because stringing together their innings is key. And the 3rd inning, winning this, or at least keeping tie this inner quadrant, the first third of this ball game, as I talked about with Coach Johnny Davis, is going to be key. That's their mindset here, is just going 3rd by 3rd, and keeping them scoreless through this first third is key.
Count even at 2-2. Here's the pitch, and that one's lined out to left. Lipsy over, and he will put it away. He's been really good out in left field for Hyannis this year.
And it's his speed that makes him so deadly in left field. It's because he has that versatility. Watch it here as just ranges over and tracks it. Even though he has those shades on the top of his hat, he can track it with the best of them, even with the sun in contention sometimes here at McKeon Park.
That one's lined to right by Hunter Hines, and you felt that it was only a matter of time before he got a hit, and that was loud contact. So he's aboard with 1 out.
Exactly what I said in the pregame show, Mickey. You didn't know if they were going to be hits or not. You look at Cam Smith first at bat, that was a loud out. And then this one, a loud hit here for Hines. So you're going to be hearing that bat cracking tonight off the crowd mic a lot.
Hines obviously up there in nearly every offensive category in the league right now, as that one's taken low and away.
Yeah, 30 RBIs with his 9 home runs that pace the league.
That is ridiculous. So here's Vieira. Infield at double play depth, and he'll tip that one into Parker's glove.
Vieira's another batter you have to be cognizant of. Is coming in with a 293 batting average that is in the top 10 of this league.
That one's a little broken bat fly ball, and Snow shows off some range to get over there and put that one away for the second out.
Yeah, for the second out there, does a great job of getting there in time, tracking it the entire time. Our cameraman Nico already had the ball there, looking to see if anyone would come into the picture. Snow does, and makes a great grab over his shoulder.
So here comes Darby, and he'll swing and miss at the first pitch. Darby so far on the year a .250 hitter in 52 at-bats, 13 hits, a home run, and 3 runs batted in. He'll take that one outside. Horn is yet to retire Darby this season. That one will be taken low. Horn against lefties likes his fastball and slider combo. He'll throw nearly 50% of each. That one swung on and missed at the slider.
At 89 miles an hour there on that pitch.
Excuse me, that was the fastball.
Horn doing a great job to make the twos hot.
Here's the pitch, and that one's tapped foul. Outer third of the plate with the off-speed pitch at 84.
What a bare hand in that dugout. We can't get a number on it, but off the bounce just snared it right out of the glove for someone over there in that dugout for YD.
2-2 the count. Here's the pitch, and it misses just outside. So the count will run full, and Hines will be in motion from first. Here with 2 outs in the inning. In the top of the third, here it is, and that one's tapped to the right side. Snow another opportunity. He will throw over to Kelly at first, and that will retire the inning. To the bottom of the third we go, and before we go there, we will go to the 4th member of our crew, Bria Losick.
Guys, it's Host Family Appreciation tonight at McKeon Park, and there was a special ceremony before all host families were honored, and Dan Johnson, the president, even got to throw the first pitch because he's one of the most special host dads that the Harbor Hawks have. He houses Darren Horn, who's currently on the bump, and Cam Smith, of course. And Dan and Cam Smith have gotten to be pretty good friends. You think that rooming with the president of the organization might be, you know, a little weird, but they've actually become pretty good friends out of the entire situation. They said that they go on bi-weekly ice cream dates, and they have 2 rules to the ice cream dates. 1, Cam is always going to get coconut ice cream, and 2, Dan also said they can't talk about baseball. Those are the 2 stipulations, and they said that Dan has gotten to know Cam very well and has said he's one of the most hardworking, just bright young men that he's gotten to know out of everyone that's come to the team. So there you go, Host Family Appreciation Night. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Bria. As that one with MK down there over there along with the team. And it goes to show you, we talked about it in the pregame, about how important those host families are. And those ice cream dates with Dan and Darren and Cam are so important that they are able to build those lasting relationships. And that ice cream, I wish I could go get ice cream twice a week. I think we can.
What was
we
the ice cream flavor again?
Oh, coconut or vanilla. That's what
Oh.
Dan said he normally, Cam goes for, at least.
And you were harping on the coconut flavor.
I like the coconut flavor, yeah.
Oh, you didn't think the vanilla flavor was good.
Yeah, I'm just like,
Yeah.
if you're going to go, I like it, but he's watching a little bit. I think you need a little bit more chocolate for me. Like, if you want dessert, I'm a big chocolate guy.
Same.
So you got to go with the dessert area if you can. And I think chocolate screams more dessert if possible.
Oh, yeah.
So here's Eric Snow, 1-1 the count. Righty on righty here from Horn, and he'll tip that one into the glove of Dykstra.
Yeah, why I love the s'mores flavor so much from Kilwins is because it gives you the real taste of it, and I think summer and dessert when I go s'mores. So that's the flavor of the ice cream itself isn't rich, but the flavor of the s'more is.
Putnam gets Snow to pop up into the infield, and Day will put that one away for the first out.
Day ranges back there. Snow, who had that grand slam yesterday, couldn't really drops his shoulder there and has the same launch angle he did yesterday, but that in that situation just got a little too under it there to turn the lineup back over.
So here's Cam Smith, a fly out for him in the first. First pitch. Popped up, right side. Gleed and Cook converging on it, but calling everybody off is Day from the second base position, and he will retire the second out of the inning.
Day's got a magnet over there. Already got 2 outs here. And one of those situations we saw last time, YD and Hyannis. That's Dub. They are very much a matchup and shifting team if they can and know the analytics for guys that they've already seen before.
So here's John, the 2-hole hitter. He will fly that one to the right side. A very quick inning if Cook can put this one away, and he does. Great inning there from Bucknam as he sets the Harbor Hawks down 1-2-3 in order. And to the fourth we go. We still don't have a score between Hyannis and YD.
That chip on the shoulder, that started at a very, very young age. People's expectations are, they're cool, they're fun, but mine are bigger.
You know, when you play in New York, they want to see winners. It doesn't matter if it's a Monday or a Friday or a Saturday. You got to come with it, or those fans will let you know.
Pick one thing from me, pick one other thing from another player, make it your own, you turn to who you want to be.
What motivates me is the unknown. You know, how good can I be? You get away from the lights, get away from the camera.
Mientras más presente yo esté en la caja de batería, más éxito tengo.
Man, how can you not keep it fun, man? This is a kid's game.
If you could go back and tell 10-year-old Francisco one thing, what would it be?
You're a bad mother.
Still no score, Hyannis and YD right now, as back out is Darren Horn, who has been working through this order extremely quickly.
Yeah, Darren Horn's done a really good job, but let's get to trivia here in this top of the fourth, as I know Grant McNew and the entire trivia team has been cracking up a good one. So, the Cape Cod Baseball League became the first collegiate summer league to use wooden bats in what year? Josh, Orange doesn't – oh, we're doing the opposite way tonight? Okay. So, we'll see.
Xander Darby stands in and takes outside. To maybe help us out with this trivia question is Bennett Markinson. How you doing, Bennett? Welcome back to the broadcast booth.
Thanks, guys. I'm glad I did good enough the first time to earn a second inning.
Yeah. Oh, you were great. He's a good catcher expertise. You can tell us all about what they're saying out there. What year do you think was put up the first year with the wood bat?
Yeah, I'm going to have no idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair.
I'm going to shoot it over to you. What do you think?
It was sometime in the 80s, and those were all the answers. As there's a 4-pitch walk to Xander Darby.
All right.
And the leadoff man is aboard.
Let's take a look at this. I'm going to guess, give me A.
I'm going to go C.
All right, I'm going to go B then.
All right. Answer is?
Damn.
C.
Hey!
Wow.
Still undefeated.
Mickey Doolittle, undefeated on trivia.
This is all luck as that one is crushed into left field by Jenkins Coward, and you can forget about it, and YD has taken a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, Kling gets a hold of that one and makes no mistake, launching it over the left field fence as it edges out, and just a hanging pitch there for Kling, and launches it. And now YD's got a 2-0 lead.
Middle end fastball there, just left it right over the heart of the plate. Left it up too, and a really good swing there, and an even better bat flip right after.
Yeah, he knew it right off the bat. That was rocketed over the ads out there in left field. And that will bring up Dub Gleed as YD has 5 hits already on the game, and here you see it again.
Yeah, middle there. Ball tail's a little bit inside, perfect height, and he just puts a really good swing on it to left center.
This is a Red Sox team that we know can hit for a ton of power, so that's probably not where you want to put that pitch. Let them get extended on it. Gleed even in the count, 1-1, and there's a swing and a miss.
And now that's their 22nd home run of the year for the Red Sox, as they have found the long ball when they've hit extra base hits.
Pitch is taken down and away.
Tough league, too, in the Cape to hit homers consistently. I mean, you're facing some of the best arms in the country, transitioning to wood bats.
Pitch to Gleed is swung on and missed. A very nice off-speed pitch there.
And great response in that situation for Horn after the home run to go get a strikeout and attack the batter in that spot. And Jamie Arnold up and stretching potentially.
So that'll bring up Casey Cook as Arnold, the lefty, gets up and throwing, and he'll take low. Is there a particular message that you have for a pitcher as a catcher to give to a pitcher after a home run like that?
I think you just got to attack right away. I mean, a lot of pitchers will start babying pitches or get scared and not throw strikes. There's a really good job there, as Jacob said, just attacking right away.
Here's the pitch to Cook, and that one's a line drive into right. Taylor will range back and put it away for the second out.
Yeah, and a good job there. 2 quick outs after the long ball. Not the start that you want to see to the inning, but a real good job attacking the next guy, striking him out, and then getting an early out early in the count to put 2 out and no one on base.
And it helps that you're facing the bottom of the lineup.
Yeah.
Connor Dykstra will stand in. Well, easier said than done against this YD team.
I was going to say, 1 through 9 is potent for this Red Sox team. And really 1 through 9 on any Cape Cod Baseball League team is potent because of just the sheer power. These are super teams here on Cape Cod.
Tap foul at the plate. 1-1 the count.
Now you look at Dykstra here trying to elongate this inning.
A little check swing down the first base side. Kelly has a little bit of trouble with it, but will flip it to Horn, who was covering anyway on a play that would have normally been Kelly 3 unassisted, but he will put it away. So YD will take the lead in the top of the 4th. Hyannis looking to answer.
Hey, Mama, what's up?
Did you switch my service from Verizon to T-Mobile? Yep.
T-Mobile has the only nationwide 5G.
Well, Mr. Know-It-All, let's see if you right about that.
Mama. Hey, Mama, I'm working.
It works at the pie shop.
T-Mobile's 5G works inside and out. Hey, what you need, Mama? I'm trying to watch the game with my boys.
It works in the park.
Okay. Mama?
It works at the aquarium, in the parking garage, at the beach, in the elevator. It works in the movie theater, too. Oh, shush yourself. I'm talking to my baby.
You're driving me crazy.
I was just calling you to say thank you, baby. I love you.
I love you too, Mama. Yes, Mama.
It works in the kitchen. Tell Mama.
Mama?
5G, it works in the club.
Who are you in a club with?
All about it. Tell Mama.
Cape Cod Healthcare is proud to be the official healthcare sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. And with 6 convenient urgent care centers across the Cape Cod, from Falmouth to Orleans, we're ready to treat a wide variety of minor illnesses and injuries, so you can get back to your regularly scheduled summer plans quickly. Open daily with no appointment needed and staffed by board-certified ER providers. View wait times at capecodhealth.org. Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care. Minor emergencies, major attention. So after falling behind 2-0 in the top half of the fourth, Zach York will come on, as there you were seeing the pie eating contest done daily here in the fourth inning here at McKeon Park.
Both those guys got white T-shirts on with a blueberry pie eating contest. That is a very dangerous thing to do. You might need some stain stick after that one.
As York will stand in and take a strike.
You look at that pie on that kid's face. He's got it on the nose. He might be breathing in some blueberry for a little bit the next couple of days.
Harder than it looks. I did it
I was
the
gonna
other
say.
day. I did it the other day.
That's right, you did. I forgot about that. How was that?
I was getting yelled at because I didn't realize you couldn't use hands. So I used it the first like 5 seconds, and then the fans just were not happy with me.
Oh, yeah, that's when everybody was yelling, okay, it's coming back to me now.
Yeah, I lost.
Can't upset the fans, Bennett.
Nope.
They're the judges.
They were the judges, and they were not happy with me. I boasted a little bit, too. I kept the first 5 seconds. I didn't even go in. I was that confident.
You were cocky.
I was cocky, and it came back to bite me.
1-2 to York. Here's the pitch. Taken just low.
I thought that was there. Must have been a little bit low, but a good spot there for a 1-2 fastball.
Mike Hinojosa, the home plate umpire tonight, has had a couple of Hyannis games this season. 2-2 the count. Here's the pitch, and that one's lined out to left field, and York is on, and there's the back control that we've talked about with him.
Perfect. If they're going to run a shift that moves you and pushes your second baseman Day all the way back, you allow for that opening down the line. And understanding York doesn't need to hammer it there. He's just got to get it into the opposite field and does a great job and gets himself aboard.
Got a fastball down and away, just threw the bat head at it.
Yeah, just take it where it's pitched. Pitched on the outer half, just take it that way. York's a really, really good hitter at just sticking to his approach. He has a really low swing and miss rate, really low chase rate, even for his big size, and he had a homer the other day, but he's pretty much a professional hitter.
Austin Kelly stands in.
And that is what everyone talks about when they talk about Zach York, is his professional approach and how all of those numbers you just mentioned lead to what is going to make him the best player at that next level.
Oh, for sure.
Kelly lines that down the right field line, just foul. And that would have been trouble.
Yeah, York has that ability. We saw it the other day to absolutely destroy balls to right and get it out of there. But what makes you a complete hitter and what's going to bring you success as the next level, as Jacob, you said, is being able to do everything, being able to beat the shift, go the other way, hammer the backside gap in left center for York. So really just a complete hitter and a really good addition for this Hyannis team.
1-1 upstairs. Count leverage also really important when you're trying to hit.
Yeah, for sure.
You can go up there maybe sitting on a certain pitch.
Yeah, and for this guy, he's primarily fastball. I mean, it's firm. It's been 94 this inning, but we've seen a lot of it.
Kelly lines it into right field, a base hit. York will hold at second, so the first 2 runners aboard here for the Harbor Hawks, and once again, answering when trailing.
And look at this pitch. Bat on ball contact, bringing it down into the right field territory and dropping it in front of Cook into shallow grass, station to station. That's all you need. Get runners on so that you're able to bring up and make assembly line here in this middle third of the lineup.
Yeah, he went with a 2-1 slider and hung it a little bit. A really good job there to stay on it and drive it to right. A good at-bat there. He just missed that fastball earlier in the at-bat, down the line foul. But he stays on that one, able to keep it fair, and something cooking for the Hawks here in the bottom of the fourth.
So that will bring up Zach Earhart to the plate with runners at first and second and still nobody out. Here's the pitch. He shows bunt, and it's a good one down the third base line. They're going to let it roll, and it will stay fair. What a bunt by Zach Earhart, putting it right on the line, and the bases are loaded.
Watch this bunt. Perfect placement, pushing it down the third base line. And this is the key, that you have chalk here. That chalk is going to keep it on. That's the beauty of chalk and not spray paint, is that the chalk is going to use it as a little bit of a wall, and it slows it down right there. Bang! Stop. 100-year crescent. That chalk helping in their favor when they line the field today.
Don't think you could do it much better than that. Perfect bunt. Nothing the third baseman could do there, but just hope it goes foul and just barely stays fair.
So Will Taylor stands in, a good RBI guy for Hyannis this year. 10 RBIs so far on the year.
And he's going to use this rubber disengagement. And right now, Hyannis coming into this one with bases loaded, batting .478 on the season. When they get him on, they are sure to make sure that their hits are counting. Swing and a miss.
Taylor was trying to send that one to the light tower out there.
And that's through 23 ABs, too. So that's not a small sample size, that .478 batting average.
Went with a changeup there. Oh, right on right change. A good pitch, and he swung through it.
0-1. Off-speed pitch at 81 misses.
So it's interesting. He was heavy fastball to start the inning, pretty much all to York and heavy for the second batter of the inning, but now in a high leverage spot with the bases loaded, goes changeup slider to start the at-bat. So we'll see. We're seeing him mix up his pitches a little bit more with high leverage spots with runners in scoring position.
1-1. Taylor hits a high, deep drive to left center field. Kling ranging back at the track, and he'll reach up and make the play. But coming in and scoring is York. And Kelly will move up to third. Earhart will stay at first, and the Harbor Hawks are on the board.
Good swing there, run back to it. So all three off-speed pitches in that at-bat. Real good swing to center, and he gets a sac fly. Guys, I guess I'm bringing some offense with me in the booth.
It normally happens that way a little bit at times, and does a great job. We talk about Will Taylor on the Early Bird Pod and how he is the Backyard Award specialist. You want him up, and what the Backyard Award means is that you're envisioning that big moment, bases loaded, bottom of the ninth, you need a hit or you need a productive out. That is what happens with Will Taylor. He gets productive outs when the team needs him the most.
So in stands Trey Lipsy, who shows bunt, but pulls back for a ball. Didn't the Harbor Hawks score also when you were in here a couple of days ago?
Yeah, I mean, you guys, I walked in and they were like, every time we have a guest on the air, it's a quick inning. But I guess with me, it's a little more offensive showing.
I guess so. Finally breaking that trend. It's nice.
Lipsy's a good guy to have at a plate, too. He's a fast guy, could stay out of the double play if he does put one on the ground and score a run.
He shows bunt again and pops that one back to the screen.
Yeah, so he's going to try and do a safety squeeze here where he bunts it up that first base line. And we saw it in a huge spot in the College World Series. LSU did a good defense of it, but most of the time, if you execute that, it's really tough for the defense to stop it.
And it's less risky than a suicide squeeze where the runner at third tries to steal home as throw over to first. But back diving is Earhart.
And with the speed of Earhart at second base, work for him, especially with only one out, maybe to jet down to second to see if he's going to elicit a throw from Dykstra. And then also with the speed at Kelly at third, that they can go in tandem a little bit.
1-1, a snap throw down to third. Kelly back diving. So 2-1 the count here to Trey Lipsy. Count leverage, and like Bennett mentioned, he has enough speed to stay out of a double play ball. As the middle infield comes in a couple of steps. That one's taken outside, and on the play, stealing second is Zach Earhart.
Real good job there. The play before, it was a fake steal, and we saw Dykstra pop up and just throw it straight to third, which kind of signals to the Hawks that they're more focused on that guy on third than the guy at first. So the next pitch, they go straight steal, and they don't even get a throw.
So that wipes out the double play ball. The infield will stay back, though. 3-1 to Trey Lipsy, with Aaron Parker to follow. That's taken for a strike, and you probably, it's not the worst thing in the world for YD if you were to walk Lipsy with that first base bag open.
I like them playing infield back here. Earlier in the game, they have a 1-run lead. You don't want to play in and a single gets through and scores 2, and Hyannis takes the lead.
Popped up, left side. Darby ranging over, and he will put it away for a big out number 2.
Big out there and a tough at-bat for Lipsy there. You just got to put something in play on the ground to score a run. Huge out for out number 2.
So it'll be up to Aaron Parker, and he'll need a hit to get that run in from third. Parker out of UC Santa Barbara.
Another guy that has a really strong clutch ability.
He flew out back in the second, as that is a nice block from Dykstra. May have just saved a run.
Yeah, tough. Those are one of those pitches that you, as a catcher, you're just reacting. It's spiked. You just got to get some body part on that thing to keep it in front and keep that runner on third.
1-0. A big breaking ball is swung at and foul tipped back into Dykstra's glove. And as a catcher, the key is to angle your chest downward just a little bit, right, to try and block it down, or is it kind of not matter? Just get in front of it.
Yeah, a little bit of angle. It depends. Honestly, on pitches like those, you're just thinking, like, stop it. With a runner on third, just keep it in front. Just do something to keep that guy from scoring.
Parker, a big bouncing ball to the left side, but foul.
Yeah, so like earlier, second and third, a high leverage spot, a lot of off speed. You saw the fastball early. He's gone all 3 off-speed pitches here, and it seems to be in front of each of them. So I think they stay with it. I think he stays with that slider, tries to get him to either punch out or roll over to the left side. You see all 3 infielders on that left side in a shift.
Yeah, a big shift on for Parker, expecting him to pull. He's got nearly the entirety of the right side of the infield open to him here.
Even shifting Kling out in center. If he can bloop it over, left center field is vacant.
1-2 taken outside for ball 2.
Yeah, good pitch there, good take. It's a situation where you just shorten up. You go the other way, it's 2 runs, and it's the lead for the Hawks.
Yeah, take a look at that left center field gap. It's pretty vacant over there. More of a direct center is vacant if he can hit it over there.
The 2-2. Breaking ball just low. And
now,
that's a couple that YD wanted.
Then you'll see Jenkins Cower in that situation taking steps over to shade a little more right there to limit the gap. But center field, still, if it can drop in there, it is open.
Walk not the worst thing here with first base open and the 9-hole on deck. So wouldn't be surprised if he stays with the off speed.
Full count delivery is bounced to the left side of the infield. Vieira across the infield, shows off that arm and throws out Parker for the third out. But the Harbor Hawks grab one, cut the lead in half. Bennett, thank you so much for joining us.
No, thank you for having me. Had a blast, and I see the Hawks getting a win today.
2-1 Harbor Hawks on the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network.
Retirement strategies come in all shapes and sizes. One strategy does not fit all when it comes to reaching your retirement goals. And considering all your options may be, well, more than you want to think about. So whether you're looking to retire or already living in retirement, you need a strategy tailor-made for you.
Fairway Financial can create a personal retirement strategy just for you, designed to take care of you and your loved ones. Call us today at 508-398-3337.
Your future begins at Dean College.
Make a difference.
Leave your mark.
Break the mold.
Be a leader.
Achieve unimagined heights.
Believe in yourself. Make lifelong friends.
This is your time.
Your place.
Your home. Your Dean.
It all starts here at Dean College.
A new inning and a new pitcher here for Hyannis is Jamie Arnold.
Jamie Arnold, the freshman from Florida State, has been stellar this year for the Harbor Hawks at a 2.51 ERA. But what makes him so special is that he's such a great guy as well. With those 14 in the third innings pitched, look at the strikeout to walk ratio, 19-3. He is a man that is painting the zone and not walking too many. He's going to pitch to the black.
Yeah, we saw him last time. Well, actually, in his first time way back against Wareham, burst on the scene, getting 7 outs. The first one, hard contact. The next 6, all strikeouts. So we know that he can pound the zone. It's been a little bit since we've seen him. It's a very good sight for sore eyes for Hyannis fans to be able to see Arnold coming in these middle innings to hold it down and make sure the lead gets no bigger than this.
So he will face the top of the lineup, and a couple of lefties due up here for YD. The dangerous top of the lineup that hasn't seen a ton of success today, but we've seen him have success all season long.
Yeah, and he is such a special guy. If you look at Jamie Arnold, he's a great guy. I have an inside the nest coming out with him tomorrow in that situation. And I was talking to him about his relationship with Cam Smith, because to coming to summer ball, I was talking to him off air, he equates it to like coming to college for the first time. No one knows each other all that often. And to have someone like Cam Smith, he knew that he was familiar with, played with the entire spring with, he said, all right, at least I have a built-in best friend.
Cam Smith's not a hard guy to get along with. That one's grounded to the right side. Snow, another opportunity from him. Baseballs just keep finding him, and he was handled all of them really well.
Snow has handled him really well there. And like you said, Cam's such a likable guy as well, but so is Jamie Arnold.
So is Jamie Arnold.
The both of them. You see Jamie Arnold on days that he is not scheduled to pitch. He is playing blitz ball with Coach Beatty's kids before the game, before BP, and he is giving it to him as well. He is also throwing hard during those blitzball games. He's not giving them anything. It's a very competitive and a fun time when you get to see Arnold interact with his kids.
Honestly, he's probably not doing that on days where he starts as well. He's just so loose before his starts. He is always smiling, talking to everybody. I can't lie. You know, as media, we try not to talk to the starter, but he came up to me and mentioned something to me once on a day that he was starting, and I was like, I should not be talking to you right now, but he's just such a likable guy that is willing to talk to anybody.
Yeah, so many guys are so down the middle with it, in that they just don't want to be talked to. They want to stay in their zone, but it's so nice to watch guys like Arnold who are so loose during games. That's his way to prep for his start. He wants to be talking to, as we see some action down in the bullpen.
Yeah, Connor O'Hara is there starting to warm up for YD.
Yeah, he likes being talked to. He's a good guy, and that means he deals with his starts in a different way, and it's one that we sure like.
And in the box right now is Hunter Hines, perhaps the guy that manager Eric Beatty brought him in to face, as it's 3-2 here to the designated hitter for YD, and he misses just outside. So Hines is on for the second time today, this one via the walk.
Just his fourth walk you saw on that left slab. Hines staying disciplined there, the hot batter and heavy batter. Stays disciplined, works in.
There's the pitch, and it misses down and in. Vieira, 293 hitter. That's good for 9th in the league right now. Infield playing him at double play depth as he chokes up on that bat a bit. And that one will get to the backstop. Collecting it in is Parker, but Hines moves up 90 feet.
Let's go one zip, I'll go, baby.
And Arnold just recomposes himself, and Hines able to get over, which is a huge advantage there for YD and the Sox to put a runner in scoring position for another hot batter.
Tapped foul. But with a guy like Jamie Arnold, you know, you're always concerned when there's runners in scoring position or there's an empty base at first. But you worry just a little bit less with a guy like Arnold in, a guy that you know has a very high strikeout rate and can strike anybody out, as he has come back from 2-0 to 0-2, and that one, I believe, hit the light post out there.
Yeah, Whitey's bullpen getting active down there.
2-2 from Arnold. Vieira strikes out swinging. Nicely done by him.
That big strikeout, too. That's his MO, as you talked about. Really, really good pitch from Jamie Arnold, as you saw on your screen right there. Just pulling the string once again, and now putting it away with 2 outs, not trying to pitch to contact, knowing that that could score a run, and now bringing it in with only 1 out away from getting out of this again.
In stands Darby as he fouls that one back.
Arnold's another pitcher in this lineup right now that works rather quickly if he gets the signs he wants early from the catcher.
Swing and a miss. There's the slider. So much break just away from the lefties. Looks like it's starting in the zone, then it'll just take a nosedive right out of it. Great west to east movement, and nearly got him with a fastball, but it missed off the plate.
What is so impressive about Jamie Arnold is how he's developed. He's worked on pitches here since coming to Cape Cod. He's going to be so good next year for Florida State.
Little blooper down the left field line, and it will be foul. So exhale here from Harbor Hawks fans, as Hines would have scored on that if it just got in.
Yeah. Arnold is developing, and for that Florida State team that didn't have the year they wanted with Link Jarrett's first year over with the Seminoles, he comes in and is going to be a great arm for them to come out of the bullpen or even start, as you've seen here.
1-2, swing and a miss. Arnold sets him down on strikes. Second strikeout for him on the outer third of the plate, and he escapes the inning. To the bottom of the 5th we go. Still YD 2-1.
A brilliant idea starts at the source. Through innovative design, we're taking steps to create a better future. Now, the pure fresh taste of Dasani comes in a redesigned bottle, up to 30% made from plants, and as always, it's 100% recyclable. Plant bottle, designed to make a difference.
This BBB seal is a badge of honor. It's a sign that this is a business you can trust. Each year, millions of people see the BBB seal on a door or a window or a website and breathe a little easier. See the seal and know you've made the right choice. Find a business you can trust. Ask BBB.
New pitcher here for YD, and the lights at McKeon Park stay bright all season long thanks to the Knack Cape Cod. The Knack offers 2 locations, Hyannis and Orleans, both offering delicious burgers, tacos, sandwiches, and more. Visit theknackcapecod.com to order online today. The Knack Cape Cod is proud to be the official Light Up the Park sponsor of the Hyannis Harbor Hawks all season long. YD once again brings in a new pitcher here to face 9-1-2 of Hyannis.
Yeah, Connor O'Hara from Florida Gulf Coast University and the Eagles has appeared in 4 games, has a 1.58 ERA through 11 1/3 innings pitched with 10 strikeouts to 7 walks, has given up 6 hits. Last appearance hasn't appeared in the month of July yet. You got to go back to June 30th where he pitched 2 2/3, giving up a run on 3 hits, walking 3, striking out 4 in 14 batters faced for the Red Sox. So comes in for relief
Florida Gulf Coast?
Yeah, the Eagles.
Wow, that is impressive. Not only is he obsessed with lemonade, he knows his mascots.
I do. I have two obsessions, college mascots and lemonade. If you got any good lemonade recommendations that I have not tried, I would love to hear them. JI Media 21 on Twitter, at me. I would love to try a new lemonade.
Eric Snow stands in. Outside for ball 1.
And Bucknam's line is now closed. He went 4 innings, giving up just a run on 4 hits, just a walk, and 1 strikeout. Good stuff today from Micah Bucknam on the mound.
Snow fouls that one back. Not quite long enough to pick up the win for him, but certainly kept the Sox in the game. 1-1 to Eric Snow upstairs.
Good take. Better call. Working on it. Yep.
And now
Good eye.
Snow had that grand slam yesterday. That was a towering shot that gave Hyannis a little bit of an opportunity there.
3-2 the count as he waves and misses. With the top of the order and Cam Smith coming up next. 3-2, up and in. So Smith will have a runner on as he will stand in.
And this is why the bottom of the order is so important when Cam Smith is in the leadoff. Having that 9 guy in Eric Snow, he's a contact guy. He gets on base and works a really good at bat, as you saw right there, finished off. Now he gets on base as a leadoff man and gives the pitcher O'Hara something to worry about with nobody out and 1 on, and Cam Smith to the dish.
So a righty on righty matchup here with Snow dancing off of first. Outside ball 1.
And even though they didn't tie or take the lead, take the lead last inning, they know they just have to get 1 at a time, because now with a guy in Cam Smith as hot as he is, they're gonna have to talk about this. And just getting themselves back into the game in this way, the way Snow has to bring up Smith, is so important.
It's going to be a meeting at the mound, as Smith is not a guy that you want to fall behind in counts to. And especially with Snow over at first, that adds an extra element to all of this. Worrying about the base runner, trying to hold him on, plus not trying to get beat by one of the better hitters in the league right now.
Gonna have to be poignant with pitches against Cam Smith with a runner on. He gets a hold of one and unleashes this one over the fences. Hyannis gets back in front.
Once again, the count is 1-0. Smith takes inside. So big count leverage here with John Gazdar to follow. Smith, a guy that's hit in every spot in the lineup except the cleanup roll as he taps that one down the left field line, and it will just go foul. Darby tried to get to it before it rolled foul, but was unable to beat it to the foul line, so it's 2-1. But Smith has hit in every position in the lineup except for cleanup, 7 and 9 this year. I asked him about it before the game, and he just kind of said, I like being in the lineup. I enjoy playing every day.
And that's that attitude Dan Johnson talked about in the pregame interview, just the simplicity of baseball that he has and understanding that this is a game and that at the end of the day, he gets to play a children's game at a very high level against some of the best in the country.
Smith ahead 2-1 right now. And now he's ahead 3-1. He said he's never been moved around in the lineup that much, but again, doesn't care.
It doesn't change his role really either. He just has to get on base, and he also just has to hit as he serves at a really good part in the lineup here and now serving as in a normal role, acting with runners on base.
3-1 taken down and away, and runners at first and second with nobody out for the second straight inning here for Hyannis.
John.
The biggest thing for Hyannis here, they got to take advantage of these runners on with nobody away in this bottom of the fifth.
So here's John, who has popped out on the infield and flown out to right in this game. With nobody out in the inning, Hyannis trails by 1 in the bottom of the fifth. He's going to show bunt, and it'll go foul towards the on-deck circle.
Yeah, smart to bunt from Gazdar there to get 2 runners over with Zach York coming up. In his quality of contact, he can elevate the ball. We saw him last at bat where he was able to beat the shift. A really, really good hitter, and to have 2 runners in scoring position for him would be great.
Even a runner at third with only 1 out would be big. 0-1. Gazdar's going to show bunt, and they're going to throw back to second. Snow dives back. So perhaps thinking that Hyannis might pull some trickery here. Big hole on the right side of the infield. Vieira shifted over a couple of steps, holding the runner Snow on. Another bunt shown, and that one's put down the left field line, and it will be picked up by Darby. Throw to first in time, but a perfectly executed sacrifice bunt from Gazdar.
Yeah, to be able to drag Darby in on the grass and there's no wheel route being run, as you see the shortstop stays at his perch as opposed to going around third base, that's a really, really good bunt. You can get scared when they're hit with that much velocity. They could be a little softer, but in that spot there, perfect stuff from Gazdar to be able to get both runners over. And now runners on second and third for York, who's been able to elevate and find some really good contact in his first few days here with the Harbor Hawks.
York 1 for 2 with a single back in the fourth. First pitch is flown out to left. Jenkins Cowart ranging in. Will this be enough? They are going to hold the runner at third, Snow, and there's 2 away in the inning.
A tough spot for York, who flies it out to left field, and it's just the part of the park you can't really execute a sacrifice tag to home, especially with the arms of Jenkins Cowart here, as it's just flown top. You had Snow think about it there for a hot second, and then ultimately checks up as soon as skipper Eric Beatty didn't like the throw from Jenkins Cowart that was directly on line.
Austin Kelly will be responsible for trying to get those runs home, and never mind, they are going to intentionally walk him to load the bases with 2 outs.
Now that makes the play at any base, so an easy ground out doesn't need to be forced anywhere, and it can just go directly on a tag.
So Zach Earhart will stand in. He has a pair of singles on the game. He has that bunt single down the third base line in the fourth, and then a more traditional single in the second. He takes the first pitch for a strike. Kelly at first, Smith at second, and Snow at third. Hyannis looking to tie the game, if not more. The pitch to Earhart, swung on and missed. So he's behind in the count 0-2, and he'll have to shorten up and try to battle.
Yeah, a little bit of a late decision there from Earhart, whether he wanted to swing around on it. Has an 0-2 count here.
O'Hara trying to maneuver his way out of this one. 0-2. Strike 3 call, and that will end the threat for Hyannis. They leave the bases loaded, and we head to the 6th on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Hey, Mama, what's up? Did you switch my service from Verizon to T-Mobile? Yep. T-Mobile has the only nationwide 5G. Well, Mr. Know-It-All, let's see if you right about that. Mama. Hey, Mama, I'm working. It works at the pie shop. T-Mobile's 5G works inside and out. Hey, what you need, Mama? I'm trying to watch the game with my boys. It works in the park. Oh, okay. Mama? It works at the aquarium, in the parking garage, at the beach, in the elevators. It works in the movie theater, too. Oh, shush yourself. I'm talking to my baby. You're driving me crazy. I was just calling you to say thank you, baby. I love you. I love you too, Mama. Yes, Mama. It works in the kitchen. Hell, Mama. Mama? 5G, it works in the club. Who are you in the club with?
Jamie Arnold back out to work for Hyannis in a 2-1 ball game that YD leads. And let's take a deeper look into maybe how these teams get it done a little bit differently.
I don't know how in the batting average they are exactly the same, coming in at 4th in the league at 251. Pitching has what propelled YD past that in that situation is being strong. Hyannis falling down a little bit with last night in that 4.53 ERA, but the biggest thing, we have our third stat comp that's always changing every night. Tonight, this is the one I wanted to highlight. Triples here at McKeon Park. It's a little bit of a deeper park for Cape Cod. Hyannis has 10 triples on the year. That yellow means that they are the leaders, while YD hasn't even recorded a triple yet this year, and yet they're one of the top in that extra base hit category in home runs with 22 now. It is just crazy how the different parks can play, whether you're home or away in that spot.
Yeah, this is a rather cavernous park in McKeon Park.
Jenkins Cowart stands in and flies that one down the left field line, and it will bounce just foul.
Yeah, that could have been trouble. That might have been 3 had it not hopped over and stayed in the yard. But we see guys with such great speed. Nick Mitchell being one of them, has a few to his name. We've seen Trey Lipsy get 1 or 2. Even Cam Smith, whether it be fog-induced or not, get a triple to his name. So it's clear that these guys can leg out 1 or 2, but it's pretty crazy to think about how this team has 10 triples. Hunter Hines almost has as many home runs by himself as this whole team does triples. And that's a sure run.
0-1 the count. Grounded to short. Up with it is Gazdar. And he'll put him away on a nice little pick by Austin Kelly. And there's 1 away.
Great pick by Kelly. The traditional catcher gets a play from Gazdar there and does a great job of scooping it up out of the dirt, taking it on that glove side.
John has been brought in to play short, and he's done a great job in one of the toughest positions to play in sports. So Kling stands in and takes outside, having homered back in the 4th. And the count moves to 2-0. As they're the bands,
yeah,
you know, the tension bands, I believe you call them.
Resistance bands.
Outside again, and it's 3-0.
Full set of fans here on Host Family Appreciation Night.
Yeah, all of them invited to the ballpark today as that one's taken for a strike. And it's good that we section out a night every year to really recognize what these host families mean to the organization and to the league as a whole, housing the players.
The league doesn't happen without them, so tremendous gratitude to them.
3-2 to Kling, and he lines that one down the right field line. Kelly tried to dive for it in foul territory, and it will bounce off his glove. So an exciting play that doesn't change the situation at all.
Yeah, let's take another look there. Really, really good effort from Kelly. I've been so impressed with his defense, not being a natural first baseman, sliding in there seamlessly.
Kling caps off a very nice at-bat with a walk on an outside pitch, and that'll bring up Doug Gleed.
Yeah, it's a game of margins. You just missed that catch, and you just missed that pitch by a few centimeters, and now there's a runner on first.
Now with a runner on in this spot for YD, I want to try and bring it home because Hyannis just shown last inning they can be within striking distance.
It hasn't been a lack of base runners that has killed Hyannis. They've stranded 7 so far on the game, and it's only been 5 innings for them at the plate.
And right now they're just missing that timely hit. You could circle back for Hyannis. Right now is they're just missing that one dropper.
Down and in. It's 2-1.
Arnold working that inside part of the plate right now to Gleed. See if he'll try and go around on it.
2-1 as the runner goes. That's tapped to the right side, and Snow, who is trying to cover second base, gets caught in between. And that will allow Kling to move past second and to third. So runners at the corners with only 1 out, and Casey Cook coming up.
And that's another reason you do the hit and run, just in case it gets hit to the guy who's covering. Could be shortstop, could be second, doesn't matter who. But in that case, it gets chopped exactly to where Snow is standing, and he comes over to cover second on the stolen base, takes him away from where he'd normally be, and it opens up that exact spot.
Yeah, that's a surefire double play. Had the runner not been going and Snow was able to stay in his position, but this will prompt a meeting at the mound as Eric Lexus will make his way out to have a conversation with Jamie Arnold. Good news is this is still the bottom of the order here in Cook and Dykstra. The bad news is 1 through 9, this order is extremely dangerous.
They really are, but this is more than just a pitcher's meeting. He's calling in the entire defense. And Eric Luxus, for a solid part of the end of June, was the interim skipper with Eric Beatty away for his kids' baseball tournament. So he understands the defensive situations here. So before Beatty has to go out there and make a change, he's able to go out and have a conversation with his entire defense about where they need to be and how they need to be positioning them in order to be able to get an out and try and prevent the run of Kling to come home here.
So the meeting is broken up, and Casey Cook stands in. Jamie Arnold is going to have a lefty here as the infield will return back to its normal depth. The second baseman, Snow, is playing awfully far off that second base bag. It's going to be really tough to double him up if John gets a ground ball to him where he's not able to run the ball to the bag himself.
But Snow does have a little bit of speed.
There's the ground ball to John, throw to second for 1, and they're not going to have a play at first. So YD will plate another. Kling will come in to score, and it's 3-1.
Great play by Gazdar to go to second base there, get the lead runner so you're able to at least get an out and to prevent a runner from getting any closer and being in scoring position. And Snow is there that entire time. It's just the speed of Cook down the line in that situation that doesn't allow him to turn.
First pitch to Connor Dykstra is taken for a strike.
But that's a good play knowing that they can't turn it, and it's good awareness from John and from Snow to be able to know that either of them will get over to second. They get that lead runner despite the run scoring.
Tap to the right side, waiting on it is Kelly, and he will put it away for the third out of the inning. But YD picks up another run, and with that, we'll send it to the fourth member of our team, Bria Losick.
Thanks, guys. The Harbor Hawks have a new addition to the team today, but he's not on the roster. It's Gino Casino, one of the baseball operations interns, and today he's taken over for the bullpen catcher, Damien, because he's on vacation with his family. So, you know, Gino's coming in to fulfill his role, coming in between innings and catching them, and also in the bullpen. And, you know, Gino not only is a scout liaison for the baseball operations department, but does a whole lot of other stuff. So he's been running around all day with the catcher's gear on and his new uniform, and is very, very excited. I talked to him. I said, "Are you nervous a little bit? These are some pretty high caliber arms." And he said, "No, I do this at school at Michigan, but I'm kind of excited. It's almost like a little call up to the big leagues today." So if you hear chants for Gino, it's not for a player, it's for a bullpen catcher, and it's definitely coming from the baseball operations department sitting in the front row here. All right, back to you guys.
Thanks, Priya. Appreciate it. Gino is a stand-up guy. You see him down there today doing the bullpen catching, and he's our scout liaison here, as you touched upon, Priya. But he's such a great guy all around, loves this team and loves everything about Hyannis Arborhawks that he's even expanding his roles to enter onto the field. And I think the best line today, when he came in catcher's gear, I said, "Yo, you're not scout liaising today?" And he said, "No, I'm actually going to go down and bullpen catch." And I said, "How'd you get that kick?" He's like, "I don't know. Someone said they needed a catcher." And I said, "Stop him right there. I'll be there in 5. Wow. And he was excited, as she talked about. And this baseball ops team is excited for him because they are a close group of guys all living together.
Look at him frame that. He came up through it. That's exactly fundamentally how you're supposed to do it. Start low. He's a natural.
I was going to say he's a natural. I mean, they could have him out here every day of the week.
Someone get him some pinstripes.
Yeah.
Because he could come into one of these games.
Well, he's also not unknown to the bullpen catching role. He's the Block M of Michigan's bullpen catcher during spring ball with them. So he's accustomed to being a bullpen catcher and being a guy that warms up a couple guys for the Wolverines.
Will Taylor will lead it off for Hyannis, and he'll get brushed back on the first pitch. A lot of players from the Big Ten out here on the Cape. Trey Lipsy comes to mind for Hyannis. A couple of Maryland guys.
Look at Obermueller and Volker.
Yep.
Out of Iowa, Big Ten as well.
Quite a few Maryland guys got drafted in these last 3 days as well. A few Cape alum as well. Matt Shaw, Luke Schliger, coming from last year. The league MVP and Matt Shaw for Bourne last year.
Man, look at the hits right now. As YD has 2 more, but Hyannis is only there with 4. They just are missing that one hit like I've talked about that's able to break them through.
2-1 to Taylor's upstairs. And it would be big if he can get on to begin the 6th, the bottom of the 6th. And that one's taken. He tried to check his swing, but that is a swing, says first base umpire Joe Cruz, and the count will run full. 3-2, the count. Here's the pitch, and that one is flown to center. Kling barely has to move for it, and will put it away.
Kling didn't even have to move a step, just had to track that one all the way to him the entire time, and does it right there for the first out as YD trying to preserve their one that they were able to get back in the top of the 6th.
So here's Trey Lipsy, who walked in the 2nd. Taps it foul, no, fair right over the first base bag. Lead gloves it and retires the 2nd out of the inning.
Yeah, and in game of margins there, could have kicked foul there, stayed fair. It almost hit the bag, and that could have caused a lot of chaos too. The bag, of course, in fair territory, but just missing out and now 2 away.
Aaron Parker will stand in. 0 for 2 day so far for him, but he's looked good behind the plate. With 2 outs trying to extend the inning, he'll take a fastball up and in. O'Hara has moved through this order quite well. Ran into a little bit of trouble in the 5th, but was able to work out of it. Now hits Aaron Parker, and that is number 34. So Hyannis extends their lead in hit by pitches as Parker takes that one right off his bicep. And there's a runner at first. You're almost surprised that isn't Trey Lipsy getting hit.
With Trey tied for first with Ferrer from Brewster with 7.
I think Hyannis has hit Ferrer once or twice. As Eric Snow stands in, flies that one down the first baseline. Gleed runs over and unintentionally opens up a gate on his way to trying to make that pop fly catch.
Yeah, Joe Cruz, first base umpire. Watch him. He's got a good pop ratio too. He comes in flying. Watch this. Slow it down here as the umpire comes in flying as well. He's got his momentum downhill, bracing himself against the gate that widens. And Joe Cruz, hey, he's doing his job. He's got to make sure that ball is in play and if he touches the fence or not.
That's athleticism right there. 1-1 to Snow, who walked in the 5th and popped out to first in the 3rd. Hyannis trying to break through in this one, and that one's ground to Vieira. And he'll go the short way to the covering Day at second, and that will complete the 6th inning. 3-1 YD as we roll into the 7th.
Diet Coke? Who are you, my mom?
You should be so lucky, because you know what moms do? Well, I suppose we should start with the whole giving you life thing. It seems like that should be enough. No? Okay. What about her ability to send shockwaves through the neighborhood without saying a word? Or whip up a ridiculous handmade costume that you forgot to tell her about? Not to make you happy, but because she had a reputation to uphold. She invented rideshare, called it carpool, and did it for free. She didn't need those dating apps either. You copied her jeans, her spin, her shoes, her scrunchie, and whether you realize it or not, her music.
Why not?
Oh, and she can win any argument in 4 words.
Because I said so.
Everything you're trying to do, she's already done it, did it better, and she did it with a Diet Coke in her hand. So, drink what your mama gave you.
Three to 1 YD as we head into the 7th. But first, we remind you that the wait is almost over. Floor & Decor is coming to Hyannis on September 7th. Get ready for unbelievable everyday low prices on tile, wood, stone, laminate, vinyl installation materials, and more. Our high-quality selection you can't beat. So mark your calendars for September 7th for Floor & Decor's grand opening in Hyannis. At Floor & Decor, you'll discover thousands of in-stock products, all at a price you'll love. We promise you've never experienced anything like it, but soon you can. Come explore Floor & Decor, opening in Hyannis on September 7th. And also new to Hyannis is Eli Trop.
Yeah, Eli Trop just appearing in his 2nd game right now for the Harbor Hawks. Has a 0.00 ERA through 1 innings pitched, and that came back on July 9th at Wareham in that 9-1 victory where he pitched an inning, walked 1, struck out 2 through 4 batters faced. Didn't give up a hit or a run. He was dominant in that inning of work.
Was a part of a combined no-hitter that was brought into the 7th inning for Hyannis, but ultimately was broken up by Wareham in what turned out to be a little bit of garbage time in a 9-1 out-of-hand game. So he'll look to continue that success here tonight.
Also made 17 relief appearances at UPenn this season, 2.37 ERA with a save to his name too. And batters hit below 1 against him this season. So really, really dominant to go along with striking out 36 batters in just 19 innings of work.
Brady Day leads it off for the Red Sox. First pitch misses low. You like that transition between floor and decor and this setting? New to Hyannis.
Pretty
Eli
good.
Trop.
Pretty good.
I needed some kudos for that. As over to his left, Gazdar puts away Day, and that's the first out of the inning.
Gazdar showing his range, able to go up over by second base on a play that can be a little hard sometimes for a shortstop, especially when you're ranging in that direction, but playing a little closer to that second base bag's able to make it and fire off to Kelly in time.
So once again, Hunter Hines stands in, having reached in 2 of his 3 plate appearances, and he swings and misses at the first pitch. He walked in the 5th, singled in the 3rd, and struck out in the 1st as the second hitter of the day. Vieira on deck. 0-1. That one slipped out of his hand, went straight to the backstop about 7 or 8 feet off the plate.
74 miles an hour out of his hand, propelled directly off the padding to come back.
Infield slightly shifted over to the right, playing Hines to pull. 1-1. Swing and a miss.
Now Jamie Arnold's line now closed for the day, went 2 innings, let up a run on a hit, walked 2, and struck out 2.
One-two to one of the more dangerous hitters in this league, and he goes down looking.
What a great pitch from Eli Trop. He comes in and gets maybe the hardest hitter on Cape Cod looking on that one. Does a great job of painting a corner to be able to get the second out here in the top of the 7th.
Max Vieira stands in. Single in the 1st, but nothing much since then. And he'll miss one just a little bit low and inside. One-oh is soft line drive. Smith doing a little spin move and throws him out for out number 3. And that will retire the top of the 7th.
Cam Smith doing a great job there, hitting the spin move. We're going and stretching here at McKeon Park.
Diet Coke? Who are you, my mom?
You should be so lucky, because you know what moms do? Well, I suppose we should start with the whole giving you life thing. It seems like that should be enough. No? Okay. What about her ability to send shockwaves through the neighborhood without saying a word? Or whip up a ridiculous handmade costume that you forgot to tell her about. Not to make you happy, but because she had a reputation to uphold. She invented rideshare, called it carpool, and did it for free. She didn't need those dating apps either. You copied her jeans, her spin, her shoes, her scrunchie, and whether you realize it or not, her music.
Why not?
Oh, and she can win any argument in 4 words.
Because I said so.
Everything you're trying to do, she's already done it, did it better, and she did it with a Diet Coke in her hand. So, drink what your mama gave you.
Three to 1 our score, and the chicken dance reigns out over McKeon Park. Our wonderful riders there. And this is how Hyannis will go from here.
As they'll take on Brewster tomorrow at Stony Brook Field, and then we'll come back home for a 2-game homestand, go to Harwich, and then come back home again. This middle of June, middle of July, as they are stacked with home opportunities to play here at McKeon Park.
They cut it off too early. I think we should extend the middle of the 7th just to include more of the chicken dance.
So 17 for 4, so Dump Gleed will come out of this game for YD here, and coming in will be number 17, Nathan Archer, now to go over to first base. That is a direct swap here, so it will be a swap in the lineup as well.
Cam Smith stands in. 0-1, and that one is cranked out to left field, and it will get all the way to the wall. Smith motoring around first and will dive head first into second, and he has a leadoff double here in the 7th.
Yeah, I was just about to say that this is the time for Hyannis to come back if they want to, because they've got the top of the order. Cam Smith starting us off with really hot contact, scorched it, and it was almost hit too hard, and that brings up Gazdar now with a chance to get Cam home, and that could get the lead only down to 1.
Big hit there from Cam. Now you get a runner on to try and respond. It's only a 2-run ball game, so Hyannis with this top part of the lineup up is deadly.
Gazdar's got a big hole on the right side of the infield to work with. First pitch nearly hits him.
Excellent call.
And Smith absolutely torched that one. That had to have been one of the hardest hit balls we've seen all year. Absolutely caught his barrel. And no chance for Jenkins Cowart to get over there.
That hit him.
That one brushes John back, and it hit him. Number 35 on the year for Hyannis as they extend their lead in the hit by pitches category, the all-important one.
Now let's go back to that Cam Smith double here, because it's great contact. It is high in the zone, gets it up by there, but puts great contact on it. It is a swing and a half there in that situation.
So in stands Zach York. They'll throw to
back.
second, and that one was skipped in by O'Hara, but no harm, no foul.
As you'll have an opportunity here from Deiska, but there's the dirty mids for Zach York. So he wears stirrups, but because he has long pants, he does not want to refuse to let it go. It's something he feels comfortable in, that he is very confident that he's always worn them. He wore them at GCU, and when talking to him pregame today, he said, I am not going to change. He's like, no matter the pant size, no matter the length, I want to keep rocking them, and it makes him feel comfortable. He's like, you got to keep the stirrups. I'm a little superstitious in that fact that you got to keep them.
York takes outside, and we see superstition come into play a lot of times with Hyannis, most notably wearing their orange alternate jerseys 3 days in a row on a 3-game winning streak.
It worked.
It did. 4 days in a row.
Trust me, I changed my belt today.
We don't talk about the 4th day, though.
I hadn't worn the same belt all during those 3-game winning stands, but had to change the juju, went a little more poppy today.
I wore the same shirt, says producer Grant McNew. For those of you who don't know, we wear the same shirt every day. 2-0 to York. It's a big spot here. Spin move down to second, and that one gets into center field, and it will allow both runners to move up.
So I was just about to say it's a big spot, because now this is exactly why they built the lineup around Zach York today. And now with that throw into center field, the double play is taken out of order and a base hit ties the game. This is exactly the situation you want Zach York in with, and it's a credit to the lineup structure here today.
And that's the second ball that O'Hara has skipped into second base in the inning. And that time it comes back to bite him. So don't forget, it's still 2-0 to York. A dangerous hitter, and he'll take outside 3-0.
At 94 miles an hour, that pitch missing away, touching a little bit of the chalk on the downward cut of it. Here 3-0. Gotta have to imagine you're going to keep the stop sign on.
Another lefty, Kelly, on deck. The 3-0. Upstairs. They're loaded. Great at bat from York, who draws a 4-pitch walk, and still no movement in the YD dugout as they have action in the bullpen. But O'Hara looks like he's going to stay in this game.
Yeah, and it brings up Kelly, who's been hitting the ball hard all season long. It's been going to guys most of the time, but we've seen his clean contact when it gets through. And, yeah, with bases loaded, nobody outs, and a guy who puts such quality contact on the ball in Austin Kelly, they should be having a conversation out here.
And timeout called as Dykstra will go out, like you mentioned, to have a conversation here. And it looks like this could induce a pitching change, as everybody will come in at meet at the mound in a 3-1 ball game. The Hyannis Harbor Hawks have loaded the bases in the bottom of the 7th. It's that chicken dance magic, I guess.
They have loaded the bases quite frequently today. They just can't find that big hit. And now with bases loaded, they're going to have to try and get something, especially when you talk to Johnny Davis. You got to win the 3 wars today. The start of the third, the middle third, the back third. But this third's going to start off with runners on, bases loaded, and a new pitcher.
And like you said, it will be a new pitcher. And we are going to take a quick break on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
That chip on the shoulder, that started at a very, very young age. People's expectations are, they're cool, they're fun, but mine are bigger.
When you play in New York, they want to see winners. It doesn't matter if it's a Monday or a Friday or a Saturday. You got to come with it, or those fans will let you know.
Pick one thing from me, pick one other thing from another player, make it your own, you turn to who you want to be.
What motivates me is the unknown. You know, how good can I be? You get away from the lights, you get away from the camera.
Mientras más presente yo esté en la caja de batería, más éxito tengo.
Man, how can you not keep it fun, man? This is a kid's game.
If you could go back and tell 10-year-old Francisco one thing, what would it be?
Be a bad mother.
New pitcher in for the Red Sox as they look to preserve this 3-1 lead, Jacob.
Yeah, it's Leighton Finley from Richmond Hill, Georgia, and out of the University of Georgia. Hyannis fans might remember him as he was the one that closed the game and earned the save against Hyannis back on July 5th. He pitched 2/3 of that one, got the save, walked one in that through 4 batters' face. He was the one Cam Smith took for a mile that just found a glove in right field at Red Wilson Field.
Yeah, he's going to look to try and tightrope out of this bases-loaded situation.
Yeah, he came in relief of Hector Garcia, who is their de facto closer, and he came in for good reason. In 21 appearances, he went 2-2, bit of an elevated ERA at 6.26, but he can find the zone as he struck out 31 batters compared to only 10 walks. Also got 4 saves for the Bulldogs this season.
He also played for the Savannah Bananas at a point.
Out of the Coastal Plains League.
I saw a fun one from the Savannah Bananas today, that there was a fan who caught a foul ball, which those count as outs. That ended the game. That was the final out of the game.
Banana ball.
So banana ball, a fan ended a game today catching a foul one.
They let the guy come out on the field and celebrate with him.
Yeah.
So it'll be Austin Kelly. It'll be his job to try and get some runs home here. Bases loaded. Nobody out in the inning. Hyannis trails by 2. Pitch from Finley is flown out to left. It's going to be in foul ground. Darby converging on it, and luckily for the Harbor Hawks, it will get down.
That one hitting the top of the fence there, bouncing off of it. Wasn't in the reach of Day or Jenkins' core.
Yeah, you heard Coach Eric Beatty down the third base line commending Kelly's aggression there. So he likes that he was on that first pitch, knew it was coming, despite fouling it off, not keeping it between the white lines. He liked the fact that he swung at it.
York at first, Gazdar at second, Smith at third. 0-1 to Kelly. But first, a check over to first, and a high throw pulled the new first baseman Cook a little bit away from the bag.
Yeah, Cook had to go up there and grab that one a little bit, because in that one, a little interesting why to check back to first when you got third and second base with runners on there as well as first. So interesting call from Finley, maybe just part of his maneuver and how he wants to pitch.
Kelly takes up and away.
Good eye. Let's go 5.
All of these runners mean a lot for Hyannis right now. But Gazdar's the big one, the tying run at second. Kelly taps that one, a big chopper up the middle. And they're going to have trouble with it at second, but eventually picking it up is Day and tagging second for a force out. And Hyannis thinks he never had the ball. Did they call it a force out? I believe they did. This is what Eric Beatty is arguing at second. A strange play that Vieira looked like he booted it a little bit.
And Mike Hinojosa, the home plate umpire, is looking that way as well. So you can ask for help here. As let's watch it here. As he taps on the bag there, he does make a play. So that should stand as the force there for right now.
Yeah, we had a good look at that there. There was boots and there were bobbles. But right at the end of that play there, you saw, I believe it was Vieira. I think he was coming over from shortstop to cover. He did pick it up, had it in his grasp when he stepped on second. So that should stay. But as we take another look here, you watch coming from the left side of your screen here.
But watch here. This might also be a call for obstruction as he's coming in. So watch Vieira. He is now standing in the way of the bag, not impeding his way to slide in that situation. They're going to conference here. There was no arm out there looking for an obstruction call from the second base umpire. And like I said, Mike Hinojosa is the home plate umpire. He's not moving because there's a runner coming from third. His eyes are directly down to second base. He's able to watch for that interference call in on the obstruction of the slide, which right there looks like it impedes that slide there pretty diligently and really openly right there.
He was going to be out either way, but that's not the point. You can't obstruct with the runner trying to get to a base, and that is probably exactly what Eric Beatty is saying and what they're talking about right now.
He's probably trying to make a case for York to be safe there. It looked like he was going to get beaten, but of course, with the obstruction there, he could have stayed home, and they do call him safe, and they've changed it, and they have ruled interference.
Unbelievable. So the run will come in to score, and we're going to have some more arguments.
Now on the other side, YD's going to want to have a conversation, and now they're going to bring in a full conference here, and they're going to have to explain the obstruction call at this moment because York's able to not go in sliding at that spot due to the fact Vieira is standing in his base pass, impeding his way to slide in and to make a play at second base. So if this obstruction call stands past this conversation with Scott Pickler, that will allow for the bases to be loaded with nobody else and a run to come in.
Yeah, the run has scored here, so that's, if nothing else, the Hyannis does get the run, but there will be one more out on the board than initial. But, of course, you want the bases loaded with Zach Earhart up, a guy who can really elevate the ball. But a great spot from Jacob Irons to see that that's what they were discussing.
Got a little help from the back bench there as well from Grant McNew as he was asking. We both
Grant McNew.
Yeah, we work a little softball as well, so obstruction a very large thing in softball. So we will remain safe. A great spot by our entire production team.
Sorry about that, Grant McNew. I didn't realize you were communicating with us. I was looking at the play and seeing what was going on.
So Eric Beatty, give him props for recognizing that, getting the umpire crew to huddle together to make that call. And here we go. So Zach Earhart will stand in. As there you see the umpiring crew that made that call. And the bases are still loaded with Still nobody out. And there's a fly ball to center. Kling ranges a couple of steps in. Tagging from third is Gazdar. The throw in is offline. And the Harbor Hawks have tied the game.
Tie game.
And it's now a big tie game there.
Oh, Will.
And now there's going to be another conversation with Joe Cruz and the second base umpires, but this is exactly what you need to have happen for Zach Earhart. Be a productive out. Does it right there. Does it to the deepest part of the park. Throw goes directly in to Dyasak, but is not there in time and pulls him off the base path. But now tie ball game, new game here in the bottom of the 7th.
So with only one out, runners at the corner, Zach York, the runner at third, represents the go-ahead run. And in stands Will Taylor. First pitch to him is a big swing and a miss.
Yeah, I talked about the lineup structure a few times, and now it's paying off and showing why Eric Beatty's putting his faith in these certain guys. And here we are, back tied with the top of the order starting this off, and they're now starting to continue all the way to the bottom of the order. It's been production all around.
It's foul tipped into Dykstra's glove. 2 runs in on the inning, and it looks like it's going to be Finley's inning. The bullpen is empty right now for the Sox. 0-2 the count to Taylor, and he takes up and in. Trey Lipsy on deck. But Taylor so far on the day has come through with a sacrifice fly in the 4th, driving in Hyannis' first run. And faces a 1-2 count here. Fly ball, right field. Archer ranges over, but it's going to be Cook in foul ground to put it away. And that is an unproductive out number 2.
Taylor just getting a little bit under it there. Now Trey Lipsy comes up here. The lefty who has been able to work it through, and you're going to see exactly what you thought. Day was going to kick back all the way to touch shallow right field because of Lipsy and his pull on the ball normally into that right quadrant.
Lipsy has been a walk master in the last couple of days, as he will take just low with a breaking ball. He's been seeing the ball really well, laying off some tough pitches, drawing a lot of walks, as there you see how the defense is playing him.
Yeah, you have Vieira shade closer to that second base bag as well, opening that gap between Day and Vieira at the traditional shortstop position.
In the dirt, and it hit him. Oh, that is a huge break for YD, as York was ready to come charging home. The pitch got to the backstop, but it hit Lipsy on the back foot, so he's now in the league lead for hit by pitches.
Yeah, now leads the league with 8 on the year, but now Aaron Parker steps up with bases loaded with 2 outs, and now they're going to revert this entire shift to the left side, leaving the gap at the traditional second base position.
Upstairs on the first pitch, and let's talk about how big of a break that was. That pitch was going straight at his back foot. Dykstra did not have a chance at blocking it, and because it hit Lipsy, the play was automatically ruled dead. Parker ahead in the count, 2-0 now.
And now Parker knows he has to be choosy because he needs to see just his pitch, maybe even see a strike here, take a Jeter at bat, because there is nowhere to put him with the bases loaded and the shift going to the opposite side.
That's that gap there like we talked about with Cook playing off the line a little bit to open it up.
2-0 to the catcher, Aaron Parker. Upstairs again. Nowhere to put him. In a hard red light, you think?
I think this would be the brightest of red lights here.
Blinking?
No, hard, solid red light.
With the bases loaded and the go-ahead run at third, You have to imagine this is a red light, but he'll take a dead red fastball right down the middle at 92 for strike one.
Could even have a hard one on here too, because still, you know that one's coming and you have to leave that just in case he's walked you on 4 pitches. But now this is the pitch here that if he can't deliver it, you're either back in this or on first.
Fly ball right side and out of play, and the count runs full. Everybody's going to have a head start.
This is big right now. This is going to decide the game. I think this one is the largest at-bat so far for both teams. If YD's able to work out of this, this is huge momentum for either team. The pendulum will swing off of this at-bat.
Finley sets at the belt. 3-2. Fouled off again.
Great piece of hitting right now in the box from Aaron Parker. Understand you got to do your job. Protect the plate, protect the zone. If you think it's close, try and do your best to get bat on ball contact and foul it off.
Parker stands back in. Bases loaded, bottom of the 7th. Go ahead run at third. In a tie ball game at 3 between Hyannis and YD. The pitch from Finley. Swing and a miss, and he got him. A tightrope act to get out of it, but the Harbor Hawks have come back to tie the game in the 7th. We head to the 8th. It's 3-3.
That chip on the shoulder, that started at a very, very young age. People's expectations are, they're cool, they're fun, but mine are bigger.
When you play in New York, they want to see winners. It doesn't matter if it's a Monday or a Friday or a Saturday. You got to come with it, or those fans will let you know.
Pick one thing from me, pick one other thing from another player, make it your own, you turn to who you want to be.
What motivates me is the unknown. You know, how good can I be? You get away from the lights, you get away from the camera.
Mientras más presente yo esté en la caja de batería, más éxito tengo.
Man, how can you not keep it fun, man? This is a kid's game.
If you could go back and tell 10-year-old Francisco one thing, what would it be?
Be a bad mother.
3-3 our score as the Harbor Hawks have tied the game, but that's not the only game going on right now on the Cape.
No, it is not, as they've got other games going around. There is one final in the book so far. Katuitt taking down Harwich 6-1. That's a final game here. And then Bourne and Chatham in a tight one into the bottom of the 7th there. Bourne leading Chatham 6-5. And then in the top of the 8th, Falmouth stays hot at Gov Fuller Field. They're handedly right now by 6, taking it from Brewster.
And now Katuitt, because they won today, have tied the 2023 Cape Cod Baseball League longest winning streak as Eli Trop back out to work.
Out for now what feels like an entirely different outing than Trop had before.
First pitch to Darby is outside. It'll be 4, 5, and 6 due up for YD. Low for ball 2.
Yeah, you've gotten past Hines and Vieira, their two most dangerous hitters. Can't discount Darby, but you do have to have it in the back of your mind that you're past these two hitters. So it should be just a slight bit easier.
Breaking ball at 88, finding the zone. A really great piece of pitching from Trop to come back in. That went right to left.
Darby takes outside and now is ahead in the count 3-1 with a pinch hitter on deck. That one's going to miss inside, and it will go to the backstop for ball 4. So Darby draws the leadoff walk. And now YD will try and get something together to take the lead here, and that's the all-important runner at first in Darby.
Hyannis and YD right now with 3 runs, and that one error right now feels like it might be the one that
Jenkins Cowart stands in. Excuse me, no pinch hitter here. It will be Jenkins Cowart.
that error could potentially be the deciding factor in this one for YD if Hyannis is able to pull it out. Watch a little bit of a shift here from Hyannis as well. Gazdar playing pretty much up the middle with Smith playing 3, 4, 5 steps over off the line.
One and one the count, runner at first. Nobody out. Swing and a miss. Nice off-speed pitch there that just broke down towards his back foot. And a action right-hander up in the bullpen for the Harbor Hawks. We'll work on getting that name to you in just a moment. Fouled off, and it remains 1-2.
It's not going.
3-3 the score. Top of the 8th, Jenkins Cowart looking to move Darby up. He represents the go-ahead run, and that's slapped down the left field line towards the bullpen and foul. And we looked at the out-of-town scoreboard and at Bourne, and Bourne has yet to win their game against Chatham, but if they were to win that, that would make tonight's game with the Harbor Hawks impossible for them to tie Bourne tonight. Swing and a miss, and a big strikeout there from Eli Trop for the first out of the 8th. Bourne,
Big
of course, sitting
spot right there for that strikeout. Able to get an out with a runner on. Once again, a double play potential here if Darby doesn't try and make a move off of first base. They're going to shade Snow over a little bit with the righty up.
Here's Kling, and he takes a strike.
Hey, you were just saying, Mick, that it's big for the game in Bourne because just keeping pace with Bourne should they win and taking them up and tying them in the standings should they lose. So this game is big here.
0-1 the count to the dangerous hitter Kling, and he'll take downstairs. He homered back in the 4th, launched that moonshot over the left field wall. Walked in later, scored in the 6th, and singled on the infield in the 2nd. But in addition to Bourne, you want to stay clear of Falmouth, who's quickly approaching from behind. We'll take low for ball 2. Excuse me, that was called a strike.
Yeah, we've talked about Falmouth, how they've just been coming up out of nowhere. It's finally time for them to put everything together, and now they finally figured it out, and look at them, here they come.
1-2 to Kling. Down and away. Good take. You can tell he was thinking about chasing after that, but ultimately spits on it. Trop, 1 pitch away from getting out of the inning. He got him looking. A fastball on the outer third of the plate from Trop, and that is the 2nd strikeout in a row for him, 3rd on the night.
Yeah, big strikeout there in that situation so that you're able to now get 2 outs to try and force it here in this situation.
So that will bring up a foul ball. That will bring up Casey Cook, who was a defensive replacement earlier in the game, and now will hit with 2 outs in the 8th. outside and counts even at 1-1. Cook, so far on the year out of North Carolina, is hitting 154 on the Cape, as there's the all-important go-ahead run in Darby. And with 2 outs and less to worry about, we'll see if he's in motion. So it'll move to 1-2.
Yeah, Darby's taken a couple gingerly steps off of first base there in that situation on the 2-1.
And timeout taken as Aaron Parker will make his way out to the mound to have a conversation with Eli Trop. And perhaps this is maybe to go over signs a little bit. Trop, a newer player to Hyannis' system.
And this is a time to get over those signs, too, because now you don't really want to cross yourself up. With that runner on first, you've got 2 outs, and just getting 1 out and getting your team to the bottom of the 8th is of the utmost importance right now.
Two and 1 the count. Count leverage here for Casey Cook. And in this situation, at 2-1, you can sit on a pitch that you'd like. Pitch from Trop. In there, strike 2. Nice bend on the slider as that one snuck through the back door.
Yeah, bit of a late call, but that's the kind of pitch you want, as well as Parker with a good frame job to bring that back into the strike zone.
2-2. Foul back. YD took the lead in the 4th inning with 2 runs, and then Hyannis answered back in the bottom half with a run of their own and a swing and a miss. Casey Cook goes down swinging, and the game remains tied. Trop ends the 8th on 3 straight strikeouts, and we will head to the bottom half in a tie game.
Retirement strategies come in all shapes and sizes. One strategy does not fit all when it comes to reaching your retirement goals. And considering all your options may be, well, more than you want to think about. So whether you're looking to retire or already living in retirement, you need a strategy tailor-made for you.
Fairway Financial can create a personal retirement strategy just for you, designed to take care of you and your loved ones. Call us today at 508-398-3337.
Your future begins at Dean College.
Make a difference.
Leave your mark.
Break the mold.
Be a leader.
Achieve unimagined heights.
Believe in yourself. Make lifelong friends.
This is your time.
Your place.
Your home. Your Dean.
It all starts here at Dean College.
Back with you here from McKeon Park, and Hyannis is looking to take the lead here in the 8th.
Yeah, they just brought 8 batters to the plate last inning. As we take a look at the box score, pretty even so far as we go here into the bottom of the 8th. It'll be Eric Snow and then the top of the order. And we saw it in the 5th how important it was that Snow led off the inning with a walk. Despite no runs coming across, he got on for Cam Smith. And that's treacherous stepping because of how hot of a bat he has been swinging.
Yeah, in that big bottom of the 7th, that 2 put up on your screen, bottom of the 7th, Hyannis was able to come back and tie the game, set themselves up to try and come in here and take the lead with the 9 1 and 2 hitters due up.
And with Smith due up, it's worth noting he started that bottom of the 7th with an absolute shot that one hopped the wall.
It's actually going to be
And
Elijah
it's now
Hainline to lead off the inning, a pinch hitter.
And that'll still bring up Smith next. And he's another guy, Hainline is, who produces contact, gets himself on base.
First pitch from Finley misses upstairs. So YD really trying to get some length out of their bullpen. Finley now into his second inning of work after a tumultuous 7th. 1-0 is swung on and missed. As you mentioned, Smith on deck, followed by the rest of the top of the order. Finley gets his sign, kicks and deals, and it's misses upstairs.
And the fans now starting to know this is the chance here. With the top of the lineup coming up next, it's almost like Heinlein is acting as a leadoff hitter here. It's almost like he's the number 1 and Cam Smith is the number 2. We've seen that quite a little bit before.
2-1 foul back, and the count is even at 2-2.
Already a good at-bat being put up here by Heinlein. So this is a big spot. If he can get himself on and open up an opportunity with nobody out and 1 on for Cam Smith, it would be huge for the hopes of the Harbor Hawks here tonight.
Yeah, and good speed from Heinlein would put speed on the bases, perhaps create some chaos, and he's run the count full. So 3-2, a massive pitch coming here to Elijah Heinlein in a tie ball game. He takes in there, strike 3 with a fastball. He was on his way to first, and he doesn't agree with that.
Yeah, must have caught the inner part of the plate there, and a guy who has as much contact and plate discipline as Heinlein, he knows when he feels wrong done, and that's one that he's going to want back because it looked like he had to jump back a little bit, and he was on his way down to first.
And now everybody sits up in their chairs because Cam Smith is at the plate.
This is a big at-bat here, especially with your best hitter if possible.
And he'll get ahead in the count, 1-0. A breaking ball missed low. There you see the 4 home runs that he's hit so far this year. 12 runs batted in, a lot of those coming in desperate times for Hyannis. He'll take a fastball on the outer third for a strike.
Now this is a 1-1 approach here if possible. Smith's got to be protecting and trying to elongate this if he can.
The 1-1 fouled off. He got a fastball and just missed it. He was late on it. Went off to the right side. One and two the count. The third baseman, Darby, is guarding the left field line right now. Swing and a miss. He foul tipped it into Dykstra's glove. He'll show Mike Hinojosa and fired around the infield, so there's 2 outs.
That's a really well navigated at bat there by Leighton Finley because he just kept working that outer half. And for whatever reason it is, the hitter's eyes just eat on those higher pitches, and they just attack it and always seem to, and there's no one hitter that doesn't. And that was one where Cam Smith falls victim again.
Yeah, and Finley's got a good high fastball that he throws at about 92 miles an hour, sitting right now. And timeout's going to be called as Dykstra will go out and have a conversation with Finley. But John Gazdar will stand in. He had a sacrifice bunt in the 5th. Outside of that 0 for 2, he was hit by a pitch in the 7th as well. His 5th plate appearance of the day. As Finley trying to send this game to the 9th, still tied. The first pitch to John Gazdar in the dirt.
Yeah, Gazdar there staying disciplined in this spot. That's what you want to have if you can. Got to be disciplined. Every at-bat matters right now.
1-0 the count. Infield straight up. The third baseman, Darby, a couple of steps in, perhaps guarding against a drag bunt. And he swings and misses. As Finley looks in, perhaps considering using that fastball again. John was late on that one, but he chops that one to the left side and through the 6-5 hole for a base hit. So once again, 2-out magic perhaps brewing here for Hyannis, and that'll bring up Zach York.
Yeah, with York coming up, that's so huge to get this stuff kicked off with 2 outs. They know how to operate with 2 outs. As we take another look, it just goes straight through, just finding them and putting them where they ain't. Great work and great at bat from Gazdar to extend this inning and get your best possible chance up to try and take a lead here with Zach York at the dish.
Couldn't say it better myself. You
Bat on ball?
Bat on ball contact. That's what you're looking for. But watch this here. You're going to start moving. Day's going to come over to second base. Vieira's going to stay at shortstop right there on this shift. If he can get back control, that is a wide opening down the line.
York fouls the first pitch back, a fastball center cut at 95 miles an hour.
And we saw him do it in the fourth. He just went and beat the shift. With an absolutely open left side, he was able to control that bat, poke it down the left field line.
0-1. John gets his lead from first, and there he goes. The throw, it's a bobbled on the transfer by Dykstra, but he throws him out anyway. And that is the 3rd out of the inning.
Yeah, it is a big throw down from Dykstra, putting it right on the money for... And Gazdar's unable to get it. We're stayed tied at 3, going to the 9th inning.
A brilliant idea starts at the source. Through innovative design, we're taking steps to create a better future. Now, the pure fresh taste of Dasani comes in a redesigned bottle. Up to 30% made from plants, and as always, it's 100% recyclable. Plant bottle, designed to make a difference.
This BBB seal is a badge of honor. It's a sign that this is a business you can trust.
Hi. Oh, this is amazing.
Each year, millions of people see the BBB seal on a door or a window or a website and breathe a little easier. See the seal and know you've made the right choice. Find a business you can trust. Ask BBB.
New inning as we move to the top of the 9th, and new pitcher for Hyannis, and it's J.B. Middleton out of Southern Miss.
Yeah, J.B. Middleton has appeared in one game that was back on the 9th. It was garbage time against Wareham, striking out 1 through 3 batters faced. He comes in a big spot here in this inning from Southern Mississippi to try and shut this door and allow Hyannis the opportunity to try and walk it off in the bottom of the 9th.
A tie game right now between YD and Hyannis that has felt like a tug of war all the way. As the final pitch comes in, Parker throws to second, and the conservation of this tie game effort commences for Middleton.
And it's now Middleton's job, but what a job by Eli Trop. Coming in 2 scoreless innings, not allowing a hit, and just walking 1 while striking out 4. Absolutely huge effort from Eli Trop to allow the Hawks back into and tying this game, and hopefully setting them up with a chance to win it this next inning without any more score coming across for YD here in the 9th.
Casey Cook will stand in trying to set the table. It'll be 8-9-1, but immediately Middleton will get ahead in the count.
First pitch strike, that's what you like to see from Middleton.
Foul back. 0-2.
Now in this spot, you are able to have an 0-2 count. This is your pitcher's count. You can work something off speed or breaking here.
Check swing. And no swing, says Mike Hinojosa. And no appeal. Now finally an appeal down to third base and no swing. The 1-2 upstairs. As not a lot of Hyannis fans liked the call on the location of that pitch, but Cook was able to check his swing at what the Hyannis bench thought was strike 3. And a swing and a miss here, and it doesn't matter. High fastball blew him away at 97 miles an hour.
That is next level speed from Middleton, coming down at 96. Your eyes are picking that up, and it is just soaring through the zone. Watch this right here. We slowed it down for you. We barely can get it as it comes quick on Cook there, up high for the high cheddar on the top part of the zone.
4 straight strikeouts for Hyannis pitching, and in stands Connor Dykstra, and he takes a strike.
Yeah, it's just when you can just pump it down the middle like that and just challenge a hitter, it's so much fun because you get them to challenge, and then you dunk in a pitch like that. This is what you talk about with those unfair at-bats, setting up with that heat, maybe a little bit up, and then changing the eye level with that slider. Ahead in the count 0-2, he can do whatever he wants here.
0-2 the count, just outside. He went to the off speed at 87. Off speed at 87.
Yeah.
Come on. You're in a tie game, 3-3. You saw the graphic there. Foul tips. Parker can't hang on. But the stat that really looms large on Hyannis tonight is 11 men left on base.
They just were missing that base hit there in that situation. And J.B. Middleton is a pitcher that sits 93 to 95, will top at 97 when necessary.
And a swing and a miss. 5 straight Red Sox have gone down on strikes. And there's 2 down in the 9th.
Watch this pitch again. And fouling it off there because it is coming so quick. That's all batters can do in that situation is foul it off to keep their at-bat alive.
Here's Day, and he'll take a strike at 97.
And these are the kinds of pitches and the kinds of at-bats that electrify your guys. You're getting a lot of cheers from the dugout. You're getting uplifted by your pitcher if you're in the field. This bodes very well for the bottom of the 9th. If they can go 1-2-3 and strike out a really, really good leadoff hitter in Brady Day, that's going to give these guys a lot of energy going into the bottom of the 9th with a big bat in Zach York coming up.
Day 0 for 4, and he'll pop that one foul down the third baseline. So 1-2 the count. J.B. Middleton looking to continue his dominance over this inning. 1-2, swing and a miss. He struck him out. He will not try to go down to first, and that ends the top of the 9th.
J.B. Middleton came in and did his job. 3 strikeouts that he's able to get. He sends the Red Sox down in order. We're going to the bottom of the 9th. Can the Hyannis Harbor Hawks walk it off?
We all have obstacles, challenges at different points in life. I still push myself every single day, and the harder I push myself, the more I find myself drawn to wearing UFOs. The first time I put on a pair of UFOs, it was like someone released the pressure. It was so crazy. When you are recovered and can do more, that has a compounding effect on all aspects of your life. Stepping into a pair of UFOs, they're truly one of a kind. There's nothing like them.
Best ever? Good question. Wait, why do you sound like Dr. J in your head? I've always sounded like Dr. J in my head, which means Dr. J's outside voice sounds like my inside voice? Which Coke? The doc would know. He got the world to call him doctor without going to med school. There's only one best ever.
J.B. Middleton comes in the top of the 9th, and he knows he has to do a job. Limit base runners. He gets the first strikeout swinging. Then he gets the second strikeout swinging and comes in and gets the third strikeout. That is a huge sequence. 3 Ks, 3 set down in order to give this Hyannis opportunity for Zach York in the hardest hitter.
That was one of the more dominant innings that we've seen out of a Hyannis pitcher this season.
Yeah, that is such a dirty pitch right there. A changeup just sits middle, and then it just completely bottoms out. Disappears on those right-handed hitters. Just untouchable stuff. And yeah, we don't really see the side struck out in order too much anymore. And this is a really, really dominant inning, giving Zach York to lead off this inning, as well as the rest of the Harbor Hawks. Really something to look forward to. With a little bit of extra energy, let's see what the Cardiac Hawks can do.
York was up to the plate after John was thrown out trying to take second to end the previous inning. So he comes up here to lead it off, and the first pitch skips in. It's still Finley on the mound. They've gotten great length out of him, but he's going to be tested in this one with 3, 4, and 5, and Zach York to lead it off, a very dangerous hitter. 1-0. Big swing and a miss, and that was tipped into Dykstra, the catcher.
Yeah, that one just getting right back to him. He's slow to get up with the athletic training staff out quickly here for the YD Red Sox. We'll take a quick break and be right back here on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Retirement strategies come in all shapes and sizes. One strategy does not fit all when it comes to reaching your retirement goals. And considering all your options may be, well, more than you want to think about. So whether you're looking to retire or already living in retirement, you need a strategy tailor-made for you.
Fairway Financial can create a personal retirement strategy just for you, designed to take care of you and your loved ones. Call us today at 508-398-3337.
Welcome back to McKeon Park, and Connor Dykstra looks like he's going to stay in the game. He got up pretty quickly after that. Looked like a stinger at first. Stayed down a little bit, but gets back up, and he's good to go. So Zach York stands in a 1-1 count. Here's the pitch. And a little bit of an excuse me swing. He went around, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, on the off speed there at 78 miles an hour.
Hyannis coming off the worst loss of their season against Catuit, a 16-7 defeat. Now battling in this one against the Red Sox. The 1-2. Tapped back up the middle and through for a base hit. And Zach York continues to show off his great back control, as that is his second hit of the day.
And it's so impressive because look at this. He just takes this right back up the middle. That is so tough for lefties in this game to be able to do. But he knows that that's the one to be able to go, as we're going to get a pinch runner. In for York, and it'll be Nick Mitchell. But that is just such good work from York to be able to punch that through where the open spot was. And now they'll put a little bit of speed on here for Nick Mitchell. Good substitution here, it's just the DH was York. So now Mitchell comes in with no defensive changes necessary.
Mitchell has 3 triples on the year, just to try and give a statistic to how much speed he has, and when he can get moving on the right jump, he's there.
He goes on the first pitch. The throw by Dykstra skips in, and it goes into center field. Now Mitchell trying to move to third, and he is in there as the winning run. A disastrous play for YD, and that's why you bring in the pinch runner.
Yeah, that throw gets on there, and Mitchell might be out, but that speed causes Dykstra to throw that into center field. It causes a little bit of havoc. That's exactly why you have Mitchell in there, and now a fly ball will win this game for Hyannis.
Austin Kelly was showing bunt on the first pitch, but pulled back to take a ball, and the infield will move in to try and prevent the winning run from coming across. 1-0 to Austin Kelly. Taken inside. Good job by Dykstra to get his glove back over there, unless that one might get to the backstop.
Kelly had a single back in that 7th inning, and a big spot as well.
The 2-0. Taken in there with a fastball at 94. So it's 2 balls and a strike. Infield in, outfield in as well to give them a shot to try and throw Mitchell out in a possible tag-up situation. Swing and a miss.
And that's how you bear down if you're Finley right there. That's a big pitch because a 3-1 count gives Kelly real leverage here, and now back in 2-2 on a really, really tough pitch for Kelly to hit.
And another good block by Dykstra to prevent that one from going to the backstop.
Dykstra giving signs to his infield here as well.
2-2. Scorched down the right field line and foul. He was way out ahead of that 92-mile-an-hour fastball. You think he was expecting a piece of cheese?
He was turning on it right there early.
Turn and burn. 2-2 the count. To red-hot Austin Kelly. Line drive to right field. Coming in is Archer, and it will put it away, but on the play coming in is Mitchell to win the game. Drive home safely.
This is a big team win. Watch Austin Kelly's eyes. He knows he gets a part of it there, and it's a great catch by Archer, but that's what that error costed Dykstra on that throw, because you moved Mitchell into scoring position on that exact play, and Hyannis, the Cardiac Hawks, strike again to walk it off.
Austin Kelly has been doing that kind of thing all season long. Maybe he doesn't get on base, but productive outs has been the name of his game, and that is the most productive out of all right there. Bringing home Mitchell and securing this win, an absolutely massive win against a really good team as well.
And what a decision it was to bring in Mitchell, who caused the chaos on the base pass, stole the base, caused the throwing error to second by Dykstra, took third, and then allowed Austin Kelly to sacrifice and fly him home.
That's a ninth inning by the managers right there. People question sometimes what the managers do in baseball. That is exactly it right there. Beatty calls for the stolen base, gets it, and then because of his call in that situation, because he makes that pinch running move as well for Mitchell, he is able to get that one off and over. That is a huge situation.
I mean, just again, what a big win to be able to keep track with Bourne there. Let's take a look one more time at what it means to Austin Kelly. Look at him getting mobbed by his teammates. Yeah, and deservedly so. Kelly has been such a big part of this team since coming in defensively at first, and then especially on the offensive side too. Getting it done, bringing in runs however he can, and he brings in the winning run here tonight.
Kelly wasn't with this team to start the year as well. He was dropped by Falmouth, comes here and has found a home in Hyannis, and he's going to continue to do stuff like that throughout the rest of this summer.
And don't miss Jacob Irons' conversation with Austin Kelly coming up on the episode of Inside the Nest coming out in just a couple of days. But for now, final score 4-3 for Michael Kirsting, Jacob Irons, our producers Nico Sharp, Josh Schreiber, and Grant McNew. I'm Mickey Doolittle saying thank you so much for joining us for Cape Cod League Baseball and the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
If you live here, fun is your thing. If you live here, tough is your thing. Smart is your thing. Caring is your thing. If you live in Massachusetts, community is your thing. Since 1972, the Massachusetts State Lottery has provided over $25 billion to help cities and towns with the things they need most. If you live here, giving is your thing.
My family earns respect.
My family clears bases.
My family breaks records. My family wins MVPs.
My family gives everything.
My family makes history.
My family wins championships.
There's no family.
There's no family. There's no family
There's no family like my family. Join the fam.
Join the fam.
Join the fam.
When Alaska Airlines needed a partner for the complex operations of travel, they made the switch to T-Mobile. Our 5G has Alaska Airlines and their customers covered, from major hubs to remote destinations, with 5G coverage ready now for the demands of today and the future. T-Mobile's network powers Alaska Airlines as they deliver next-level care for all customers. 5G ready now. That's how unconventional thinking is better for business.
Coke Zero is now Coke Zero Sugar, with great Coke taste. Some people were excited to hear the news, some were skeptical. So we're not gonna have the star of the show you're watching come out and say, "You'll love it." No special jingle written by this week's hottest pop star. No famous internet celebs who happen to be holding the label just so. Okay, maybe just one little pour shot. The only thing that will make you believe Coke Zero Sugar has great Coke taste is trying it yourself. Ice cold Coke Zero Sugar. Try one today.